supported by Northern California Roofing, trusted since 1999. And Pace Supply. Streamline your supply, maximize your success. Sponsorships are available now. Visit goldrushclassic.org. That's goldrushclassic.org. We'll see you there.
Cheap, cheap. That's the sound of savings happening right now at Elk Grove Honda. You remember, right? Elk Grove Hondas are still cheap, cheap. And right now you'll find a good deal more on new Honda gas and hybrid Accords, Civics, CRVs, and more fuel-efficient Elk Grove Hondas. Every sale is done right here, under the flag in the Elk Grove Auto Mall. Come see why generations of families return again and again to Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, because Elk Grove Hondas are cheap, cheap.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave.
What's up? It's Matt George.
What's good? It's Alan Stiles.
With the most trusted voices in the community.
This is Jason Ross.
Hey, it's Kayla Anderson.
It's Whitey Gleason.
Ready to help promote your business, both as partners and customers. All you have to do is ask. Pick up the phone, dial pound 250 and say, grow my business, to get connected with a team member today. That's pound 250 and say, grow my business. Our team will review your product, quickly pair you with a perfect endorser, and create video and audio samples, all at no cost or obligation to you. With the most live and local on-air lineup, a dynamic content-driven website, and a state-of-the-art mobile app, Sactown Sports 1140 is tailor-made to help you connect with a sports audience in Sacramento. So why wait? Dial pound 250 today. Say, grow my business, and let us help take you to the next level.
KHD HD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports 1140, your local sports leader. It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson. Online at SactownSports.com or on the app. Kings, Niners, and Sacramento. The Matt and Kayla Show starts now.
Hello. What is going on, everybody? No Matt George, no Kayla Anderson. Switching it up a little bit today, as both those people have different things going on. Kayla has more going on than Matt.
Yeah,
I think Matt's voice a little bit scratchy if you caught crosstalk with the end of the first hour. Brendan Nunez filling in today, along with my guy Chris Watkins. Got Anthony Lucas behind the glass as well. How you doing, Chris? Glad to be here.
I was just trying to figure out my cameras. Yeah, I was telling you before we went live that it's probably the longest break I've had since like doing the proper honor. Like I've done, of course, fill-ins with Matt and Kayla, but like guest spots. But I haven't done like a proper fill-in in a very long time since we've switched these cameras and everything. So yeah, I'm excited to experience this new vibe that we got going here. I guess it's not new at this point, but new for me.
A little different. We got the side-by-side going
nice,
on in studio. You can see on YouTube as well. Be interacting with the YouTube chat or text line, 916-339-1140. Be sure to hop in here. I think your camera's over there for what it's worth.
Yes,
I guess I'm there.
We got Anthony on the other side, too. This is much nicer because I can see Anthony now.
Yeah.
Previously, Anthony, or the board ops would be to my
that is
back.
Weird.
And it was just a nightmare. So being able to see Anthony.
It's just a higher power speaking to you, and it's behind
you.
you.
Yeah. It wasn't the greatest.
I never thought about. I mean, I guess I'm just looking at the back of their heads when they're sitting there. That was an interesting setup. Glad we're here.
Yeah, man. Always improving.
Glad to be here. Anthony, the one consistent with the show today.
Right.
So shout out to Anthony.
That's what everyone's here to see.
Does a great job behind the glass. Chris, I did realize Carmichael Dave left his Twitter logged in here on the computer, and I'm seeing, I knew this. He does not follow me on Twitter.
This is crazy.
Turns out he does not follow you.
Yeah.
He does not follow, I'm seeing in the recommended here, does not follow Frankie Cardicelli. And I'm kind of wondering if we should change this.
I think we have to, this is,
He won't even notice.
This is the smallest thing we could do with Dave's account. So
I think he might notice, because I believe there was a time he followed me and he has since unfollowed me. I could be wrong.
What did you do?
I've done plenty. All right. Yeah, he is now currently following myself, Chris Watkins.
I'm looking at my own ratio, but does he?
I guess he doesn't follow. He follows less than 600 people.
Wow.
What a guy, huh?
It's fine.
You think you know someone?
We've been coworkers for 8 to 10 years. It's fine.
He's lucky we did crosstalk.
Honestly, we shouldn't have.
We really
shouldn't have. I believe that when our boss Richie asked us to do the show today, it was a 10 to 2 requirement. don't believe that 9:45. He's lucky that Jay Ross was with him.
Don't even get set up until the show's already started.
Yeah, that's
show
what we
up at
should've
10.
We're not obligated. Matt George probably does crosstalk. He should have picked up the phone. He follows Matt George.
No,
apparently.
right? Yeah.
Worked here in shorter of amount of time than either of us have. I think this is absolutely ridiculous.
Guess he just likes Matt more than us.
Does he follow the station?
This is a good
I would
question.
bet not. If I had to guess, I would say Dave does not follow
He
the
does.
station.
He
does.
does.
Wow, look at that. Company
Yeah.
man. Dun-dun-dun. All right, wow, look at that.
That checks out.
I honestly would not have guessed that he followed the station. So I'm glad that,
I'm surprised he followed Matt. Like, I just assumed he followed none of us. That makes me slightly more offended.
Is it just Matt?
that he follows at the station.
At
Like,
the
does
station.
he follow Alan? Wow, this is not how I expected to open today.
No, this is great. He does follow Alan.
He does follow.
We got to get a percentage.
So this is
well, Alan
really
begged
starting
for
to feel
that. I
personal.
remember that happening. That was
also
like,
makes sense.
it was a
Definitely
crosstalk
makes sense.
thing.
He follows Jason Ross. That unsurprising.
Okay, you would
I
hope
would
so.
hope so. I would hope so. What about Kayla?
If he follows Kayla,
He does not follow
okay,
Kayla.
cool. I was gonna say, I'm like, Kayla's the newest one here. Of course, it would have been a good team bonding thing for him to do to follow Kayla immediately. But also, I'm not gonna lie, I would have been a little hurt that she gets the follow and then we don't. But what you should do the honors of following Kayla. I think.
Kayla has been longer than
exactly.
Matt George.
Yeah, Kayla
here.
has to deal with Dave on a daily basis.
This is
So
true.
She does not take days off. Today is a very rarity for Kayla. So I feel like at the very least she deserves a Carmichael Dave follow. So.
Yeah, if you're in the chat here, let us know your Twitter handle, and you might get a follow from Carmichael Dave.
There we go. So yeah, that's what we'll do with the power because it is again we could really we could
get him in trouble.
We can start. We could, but we could also we could start some
lot
fun
of stuff
Kings
on
rumors
Twitter.
or something like
There's
that.
a compose tweet button right here. I have a whole
people,
keyboard.
People have made careers off of vague tweets. I think we could get a vague enough tweet off of Dave's account.
This is true.
To get some things going. So I'm just saying we have a lot of power. If all we do is follow a couple of coworkers, I think that's the bare minimum.
It's just coworkers.
It's just
Just
coworkers.
coworkers.
That's all
It's
we're
people
doing.
that you
And-
actually already should be following.
And great listeners, of course, if they
Dave would
prove that.
appreciate
Exactly.
this.
I think so.
We're helping with the content.
I think so too.
You mentioned like the vague Twitter posting. Can
Yeah.
I just say that I absolutely hate that?
Really?
That it's become like a new thing.
Yeah.
That a player, training camp video, for example, and it's Deshaun Stribling running a route or something. Someone will quote tweet it and be like, he looks just like him.
Oh my, no, that is actually
I'll be
the
like,
new
who
way,
are we
yeah.
talking about?
It's the most infuriating thing ever. The one
10K likes.
The one that I hate the most is you just post any random clip and then it's what do you see?
Right.
Because you could be
What
it could
do you
be good, it could be bad. Hey, I could be commenting on Darius Acuff's, he's not passing the ball. I could be commenting on the guy locking him up on the other end. Like it's just a completely random engagement bait, and it really upsets me every single time.
And it works
works
time.
every single
The
time.
comments are full of
And
people
it's
guessing.
all different. It's all different stuff, and it's honestly a great social experiment to kind of figure out like what it's this. It's beauty in the eye of the beholder. Like everybody's looking at something completely different, and it's the same 8-second clip.
We're all thinking the same thing, right?
Exactly.
Like that. I hate those so
And it clearly
much.
works because we're talking about how it's agitating.
Yeah.
I run straight to the comments to be like, who are we
I know.
talking
Yeah.
about? And the comments
time.
don't answer the question either. Half the comments are being like, who are you talking
Yeah.
about? And it makes absolutely no sense.
Whole generation's cooked.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The only vague posting I will do is just no wording needed. Here's a clip of Darius Acuff not playing defense.
It's some art speaks for itself.
Exactly. Exactly. That's all we need.
Have you guys seen the Kawhi when Kawhi left Toronto? There was a tweet that was like, "I wish he never left." That was all it said, and then someone
Yes.
responded like, "I wish he left me alone in the first place." And then the person responded back like, "Who are you even talking about?" And then she responded back, "Who are you talking about?" It's like Kawhi Leonard. What are you talking about?
She thought he was talking about some
Or
relationship.
something.
Yeah. He's like, I just miss Kawhi, man. And hey, guess what? Kawhi's back. Kawhi's back.
We'll see.
Shout out
Also,
that guy.
yes.
Investigation pending.
Very TBD. Very TBD. But want to kick the show off with talking a little bit about the 49ers training camp that just got underway. NFL getting started.
Yeah,
Chris.
can't wait.
Thankfully, because nothing else really
It's
going
dead,
on right
dude.
now.
This is like the most dead period there is. We're post MLB All-Star break. They're just kind of getting kicked off. The WNBA All-Star break just ended, so it's like this
a lot of drama with that one.
Yeah, it was a fun weekend, but it was also the All-Star game itself was it was not great.
It was something. It was something. Got a little dunk in there.
We did get a dunk in there, yeah. So, that's when we're out here talking about Brandon Ayuk scandals and Kyle Shanahan trying to get on. It's like a 60 Minutes investigation with Kyle Shanahan's car accident. So that's how you really know we're like in the thick of the summer and of the, I guess you can call it the most dead period of like the sports calendar.
We are right in the thick of it. I also just got a notification on my phone that Carmichael Dave just followed me back.
Wow. Oh, I did too.
What a good teammate. Probably because we're talking about the Niners. He needs a little bit of an update, Anthony, you might have to send me your Twitter handle, by the way, and get you a little follow over here.
I'm not on there.
Well,
okay, I
we'll
didn't think so because I tried to look, and I felt bad even having to ask you right now. I'm like, I should already know the answer to this.
No, I'm not on there. I got rid of mine right around when I started working here, which is antithetical to what we do here.
Okay.
But I'm off there.
You're like a Blue Sky guy or Threads.
No, I'm just it was too much
off the grid.
I don't like scrolling. I didn't have Instagram. I deleted Instagram for a while too until like a year ago, and I'm just too addicted to it.
I've seen you're back on there.
I'm too addicted.
Yeah. I don't blame you. Well, as we mentioned, I think sort of the highlight with the San Francisco 49ers right now, unfortunately, is the Kyle Shanahan car accident. Highlight, maybe not the greatest way to say that, but for anyone unaware, he did get into a car accident a few days ago, suffered a concussion, a broken left hand, 3 broken ribs, and a broken nose. I believe he needed about 40 stitches throughout this entire process. And yesterday, there was no audio of it. The reporters made it sound like Shanahan pulled them into his office and just kind of spilled, essentially, what took place. But this is from Nick Wagner, said that, quote, Kyle Shanahan, wanted to clarify right up front that the accident was his fault. He took his eyes off the road briefly to find his phone, which fell between seats, and when he looked up, he had gone over the line and into an SUV. The CHP database had said that it was the other person's fault. Apparently, that's a clerical error. Palo Alto police has since come out and said that everything Shanahan said is true. It wasn't error on their end that attributed the accident to the girl. Shanahan says it's not accurate. Police department confirmed it. I don't really know what to do with all this. Obviously, it's just hope that Shanahan and the girl that were involved are working through or able to recover as quickly as possible, and that there's nothing too extreme or that will hinder you long term throughout the course of this. If you're listening, maybe just stay off your phone while you're driving. Probably a good idea.
That helps. That definitely helps.
Like I said, he said that his phone fell between, the crack that you just like things.
I've got the protectors
disappear.
For it.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's a really good investment. Just getting the protector so nothing falls down those.
That would make sense because I literally I got breakfast on the way here, and so I didn't take the daily pills that I take prior to that, and I went to take them out, and one just fell right between the crack. I'm like, well, there goes that one.
Yeah,
no finding that at all. And then I'm thinking about Shanahan. I'm like, I can't try and get this right now. Like, this is horrible.
Start leaning over, and then you just stop for a second. You're like, I can't do that. I can't do that.
It would be done. It would be done. In the meantime, other people are stepping up for the 49ers assistant coaches, taking care of training camp duties. Shanahan obviously still sounds like he's in the building. Chris, wanted to throw it at you first a little bit more vague. It feels like training camp is the prime time for overreactions to where we see, Deshaun Stribling running a route and everybody's like, oh
he's
my God,
Moss.
like we're ready to go. Or did you see possibly Des Bryant quote tweet literally one route that Stribling ran? It was 7 seconds. And Des Bryant quote tweets it and does this entire breakdown of like, well, his outside leg is the one he planted. And normally I don't nitpick things like this, but blah, 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 blah. And then people put like a Mike Evans clip and they're like, oh, this guy did the same thing. And he's kind of a future Hall of Famer, by the way. What do you feel like you can take from training camp? What are you watching for?
I mean, I think that early hype definitely, it means something for the rookies. Like, I'm going to take the Stribling stuff specifically. And, I think that stuff I usually believe is pretty real. If a rookie is standing out this early in camp, it usually says that he's creating separation and probably not dropping a lot of balls, and that's probably like 90% of what you need from a receiver. And I think all you kind of want to see to fully believe it is him going against another team or going against some more competition so that you can justify, okay, it's not just this guy's maybe cooking some of our, lesser DBs. It's actually like he's going against, somebody in joint practice against another team, and he's going against their ones, or he's going against, whatever unit that he's slotted in, and he's cooking them as well. Like, I think that's the real confirmation, but I think you definitely take the hype, and I wouldn't, push it to the side and say like, it's just training camp fodder and it's every year somebody has to get excited about something. Like I do legitimately think that the Stribling thing is very real. And, besides that, you mentioned Shanahan leaning on the assistant coaches while he's kind of dealing with the fallout of the accident. I think that it's a great showing for the veterans that the Niners have. Like, this is exactly why you have a Trent Williams who's now been with the team for multiple years. Obviously, Fred Warner coming back, Bosa coming back, Brock Purdy now having a full grasp of not only the offense, but like the entire team. Like he's baked into the identity.
He's been there a while now.
Exactly. There's no more. It's not the Brock Purdy conversation is no longer is this real? Is this good enough?
You don't think Mac Jones coming for his job?
Look, people will still want to have that conversation, but like the spirit of the team is still led by Brock Purdy, and I think, or is carried by Brock Purdy, and I think, having those guys to lean on when Shanahan might not be able to micromanage how he exactly wants to, I think that's huge. Like that is the superpower, I guess, to steal a Vivek Ranadive term. That's the superpower that this Niners team has, is they have a lot of longevity and a lot of leaders on their team who have been here and been in this Shanahan system and know exactly how these practices are supposed to look, this type of intensity that you need to have. And I think if any team is kind of built to sleepwalk, I guess, or just kind of know what to do through training camp without needing a coach to kind of implement everything along the way, it's the Niners. And I think that they're more than capable and more than ready to I mean, it sounds like the early reports from camp is they look fantastic, and they're already all looking like they're hitting on all cylinders. I know they're hoping to get Kittle back week 1, and again, like with
crazy
with the guys on their defense that they expect to come back. I think that there's so much energy and momentum at that camp that they're used to dealing with off the field drama, and I think as long as the on the field stuff they can kind of keep controlled, I don't really think it's going to be much of an issue long term for this Niners team.
Well, their highest incoming rookie, they had a first-round pick and then traded down 3 times from the end of the first round, and ended up taking Deshaun Stribling out of Mississippi, Ole Miss, with the 33rd overall pick in the second round. Apparently, he's been looking pretty good, like you mentioned, and quarterback Brock Purdy had some complimentary things to say about the rookie wide receiver.
Just the way he runs routes, the detail of it. Obviously, we're coaching him up on some stuff and whatnot, like little things, but more than anything, he's come in, he understands the route depths and the details and the alignments in our offense. Like all those things are really tough for rookies, and it's not easy. It's a whole nother language, but he's done a good job of studying, being on top of it, and not even that, just like catching the ball and then like finishing, and like it's like, all right, this dude is proving to all of us that he's reliable and we can trust him. But it is day 2 of camp. We gotta continue to find out, but I got a lot of trust in him right now.
Some kind words from the starting quarterback, and I think the type of thing you like to hear. You can only take so much from like the brief training camp clips that get posted on social media, and I think what goes further is when you hear teammates talking about guys pretty highly, right? And you could do the vague thing of, actually, I don't know if you saw the Cardinals head coach get asked about Jeremiah Love and how he's looking, and he just went,
I did not see this.
He kind of laughed even. He's like, he's a rookie.
Huh. Yeah, that's not what you want to
hear. That's not what you want to hear. Brock speaking pretty highly of Stribling so far.
Yeah.
How much?
It's good when he has to temper himself down, too. You heard him say, like, this is only day 2 of practice.
Right.
But, like, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, I mean, overall, it's definitely what you want to hear from your starting quarterback, and obviously Mike Evans still getting worked in there, Ricky Pearsall, DeMarcus Robinson still on the roster. Christian Kirk had a calf strain, which typically going to be a multi-week thing, so you wonder if Stribling could get a little bit of opportunity. How do you manage expectations in a position where injuries obviously can take place anywhere on the field, but multiple guys will get a lot of opportunities. Jawan Jennings moved on from. He actually has taken Jawan Jennings number 15. A lot more speed and very different looking player for sure when it comes to build and archetype over there. But what sort of are your expectations overall? less Stribling specifically, but more for a end of the first round, early second round pick wide receiver. Yeah. Is that somebody that you imagine we actually get to see a good amount of this season?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it usually takes a couple weeks for rookie receivers, especially to kind of get going. I mean, if I remember back to Justin Jefferson's start to his career, his week one was a little slow. I remember Stephon Diggs, his week one was slow as well, and I feel like when you're taking a receiver at the end of the first round, like when the Niners especially, they have they bring in Mike Evans this offseason, it feels like he's going to assume that Mike Evans' role kind of as we expect Mike Evans to age out. Like I think their hope is that he can become that outside receiver for them. Obviously, they still have Ricky Pearsall. You mentioned Christian Kirk, who they bring in. He's probably going to play more out of the slot. He's going to have some opportunities. Christian Kirk, you mentioned, already hurt. He's a guy who's kind of been injury prone these past couple years. So he's going to find multiple opportunity. But with the amount of receivers that it feels like the Niners with them bringing in Mike Evans, with them bringing in Christian Kirk, you bring those guys in with a plan on how you want to use them. And, Stribling, of course, being their first pick, they have a plan for him as well. But you would think that they're going to lean veterans early and see how much they still have, and then, use Stribling more as the influx of youth and speed that they can potentially, late in the season, I think could really become a strong part of this offense. You saw similar thing with Ricky Pearsall as well. Once he was able to get on the field, it took him just a couple weeks for especially your quarterback to get comfortable looking his direction.
Are you a Mike Evans guy, like, overall?
I think so. I mean, it's almost impossible to deny the productivity, right?
Yeah.
Like he had the streak of 1,000 yards for whatever it was, 10 years straight. He is your prototypical outside receiver that you just throw the ball up to and you get him 8 to 10 touchdowns a season, and he's your safety blanket. So, is he, an all-timer? I don't think so, but it's one of those things where you just kind of have to accept the fact that the guy just was so productive for so long.
Yeah, and the Niners aren't try not to be too heavily reliant on any one guy offensively. I guess you would say, obviously, Christian McCaffrey, but they get extremely creative. Evans almost feels like a supercharged Jawan Jennings sort of thing, of like a bailout on third down, obviously large wide receiver, red zone threat that they may be able to get there. But I also don't look at the wide receiver room and think like this is overly impressive necessarily, obviously, for the Niners, with Evans leading, Pearsall, Robinson, we mentioned Stribling a little bit if Kirk can come back. But it's going to be interesting to see what they can get from guys like George Kittle. And then on the other end of the field, apparently Fred Warner's looking real good. Coming back from injury as well. Have you seen, apparently Matt Barrows called him the most impressive defensive player so far. I would hope so. Looking
Fred
pretty
Warner?
Good. Yeah. I mean, coming back from injury would be its own thing.
No, absolutely.
But obviously he is the centerpiece of everything they do on that end. Nick Bosa apparently looking really well, looking really good as well. Trent Williams actually said he's looking better than when he first had left last season than prior to the third. Bosa is looking better right now, according to Trent Williams, than he did last season prior to tearing his ACL. Tore his ACL for the third time, by the way. That's absolutely ridiculous. And have you seen that apparently after Fred Warner is making plays defensively out there, he's been looking over to the sideline where the media is and doing a little text hands thing, essentially telling people hey, tweet that one out. Tweet that one out.
I love that. I do really like that.
You like that energy? I thought that might be something that you didn't really like.
No, I mean, I like it. I do really like Fred Warner in general as well. But yeah, no, I love that energy because his story is absolutely incredible. I just don't think anyone picked him, obviously, to become one of the best, if not hands down the best linebacker in the NFL. And then for him to come on that injury last year was just absolutely devastating. He was I thought before he got injured, he was in MVP conversations. He was so important to that Niners team last year. And when he got hurt, it just felt like all realistic chance of them having some miracle season really went out the window. And I know he was planning to come back for that playoff game if they got it, and never got the opportunity. But I just think if Fred Warner can come back and be 80-90% of what he was last year, which is to me a huge ask coming off of the major injury that he had, that is just absolutely fantastic news for the 49ers, on top of, like you said, Bosa coming back. That is that is just music to Niners fans' ears. It has to be, because that defense has secretly been the key to the Niners' success. Their offense, everyone knows about the Shanahan stuff and everything, but if you look at the real key to the Niners' success has been they make far playoff runs when their defense is also a top 5 defense, and it's been that multiple times throughout this Shanahan era.
Yeah, got a lot younger on the defensive end this year. Obviously, Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw comes back, is the older piece of all that. I love Dre Greenlaw. Like, I just, it takes me back to, I feel like I've been so spoiled with linebackers. You go to Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman, like, there is just, being a Niner fan and growing up with that, I feel like you have no choice but just love linebackers.
Yeah.
Like, we've been spoiled with that, absolutely. But you are getting a little bit younger, like Jair Brown coming into his own, I think is a big season for him on what his next contract or if his future is with San Francisco. There is rookie Romello Height, edge rusher, that people were pretty excited about so far. He got carted off a few days ago, which is nothing you ever really like to see.
No.
Apparently they were working on one of his legs and both of his arms. And it's like, okay, what is that? And it is being reported that apparently it's just cramps that he was dealing with. We mentioned sort of, obviously, the other extreme cramp thing you think of would be Darren Peterson recently and everything that he was dealing with. Too much creatine, apparently. But we'll still TBD on what's going to go on with Romello. I think the question overall, just wrapping it up with the Niners, is can they actually stack up against the Rams and who is everybody's super team? My mom's been kind of agitating me because she's sitting there like, hey man, like I think the Rams are supposed to be pretty good this year. I'm like, they are, Mom, but like also watch your mouth. Like, what are we talking about? This is, watch your mouth is crazy, my mom. That is crazy. I don't actually say that to my mom.
Crazy.
Well, I mean, bro, it's like, come on. I'm like, Mom, the only teams that we cannot say good things about are in Southern California. Like, I could do Angels. I could do Clippers.
You don't feel that vitriol for the Seahawks?
I mean, I do, but it's just, it's more of a SoCal thing.
Yeah.
Like, overall, I do think the Rams and Seahawks are like the two NFL teams, and then Cowboys, right?
Sure, yeah.
But to me, it's just more of a all-encompassing any sport LA team.
No,
that I just do not like hyping them up.
No, that's totally fair and easy.
Because you're right that the Seahawks are the longer tenure one, obviously. Like, Rams only been in LA for so long. Do you think, are you maybe not worried, but how do you feel about that Rams super team? Do you feel like, is super team an accurate term?
I don't know if I would go super team, but I mean, yeah, they are going to be one of the top contenders, absolutely. I mean, as long as Stafford's going to remain healthy, like they're going to be a team that's just a nightmare to deal with. I mean, they've got it all. They've got a great run game. They've got a great run tandem. Of course, Devontae Adams and trading for Myles Garrett this offseason. Like, it's
Aaron Donald might come back.
Aaron Donald might come back. Like, they're definitely the team that you look at
Trent McDuffie
to win the division. But of course, like the Niners could. I mean, I don't think the division is completely wrapped up. Like, I think the Niners absolutely have shown the ability to grind out that division, and that division ends up beating itself up so much that, by the end of the season, it's one or two games that end up separating usually three of those teams. And so I think the Niners are going to be in the right position, and I think at the end of the day, it's all about health. Football is so much about who is the healthiest team at the end of the year. That obviously plagued the Niners last year. All you can do is cross your fingers that this team stays healthy, because I think they have the talent to at least be where they have been in the past.
I'm telling myself, crossing my fingers, that anybody but Jacoby Brissett and the Cardinals have a chance in that division.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how I'm feeling going into it.
We can agree on that right now. We can stamp that.
We can. And Brandon Ayuk apparently still a member of the San Francisco 49ers, but it doesn't seem like that's going to last very long. The Commanders' general manager had a few things to say about Brandon Ayuk, at least kind of. Hear that on the other side here. Brendan Nunez, Chris Watkins filling in on the Matt and Kayla Show.
Sactownsports.com is your online home for sports in Sacramento. Dive deep into the Kings, 49ers, Raiders, Giants, Athletics, and more with your favorite local personalities and some of the most trusted sports voices in the community. Stream Sactown Sports 1140. Watch original video content and read in-depth analysis all in one location. Sactownsports.com. Your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
I used to think all money managers were the same until I spoke with Fisher Investments.
Really? How different are they?
Fisher's investment counselors are dedicated to service, not sales, keeping clients up to date on their portfolio.
Well, they probably just invest in a bunch of mutual funds like I do.
Nope. They build a tailored portfolio based on their clients' personal goals, helping them stay on track for a comfortable retirement.
Well, they must make commissions selling products.
Actually, Fisher doesn't sell any commission-based products. They're a fiduciary, and they believe that's a conflict.
Then they have some kind of complex fee structure.
Nope. Fisher has a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of their client's portfolio. So they do better when their clients do better.
It sounds like Fisher really is different.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Fisher Investments. Clearly different wealth management. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Remember when a driving range was just a driving range? Yeah, Hagen Oaks doesn't remember either. Reserve one of 3 top Tracer bays from 6 to 11 p.m. at HagenOaks.com. Only 3 bays are reservable, while the rest of the range remains open for walk-ups. Play virtual golf, then grab food, drinks, and a seat in front of the TVs at the hangout. Throw in live music, and suddenly your quick stop at the range turns into hours of fun. Hagen Oaks Golf Complex. Side effects may include laughter, bragging rights, and one friend insisting he would have won if the wind wasn't blowing.
Hi, this is Adam Johnson, owner of Golf Fitness Solutions. Most golfers practice their swing, but ignore the body swing in the club. We help golfers move better, get stronger, reduce pain, build power, and play longer. Join us for a free trial week and see how golf-specific training can help you support your body and your game. Try a class, meet the team, and find a right program for your goals. Call 916-802-5175 or visit golffitnesssolutions.com. Golf Fitness Solutions. Move better, feel better, play better.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Dawn or dusk, I'm on the hunt. Skeeter here, Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District, and I'm wearing Skeeter Vision, night vision goggles that light up skeeters at dawn or dusk like the 4th of July. Mosquito, 12 o'clock. Got 'em. So fight the bite by wearing long sleeves and pants at dawn or dusk when they're most active. Apply insect repellent and drain stagnant water. It's a breeding ground.
Dawn or dusk, the Sacramento Yolo Mosquito and Vector Control District reminds you to fight the bite. For more information or to report problems, go to fightthebite.net.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, I have been told you're extending the 4th of July sales event because those deals are so darn good.
They were the best deals of the year, and we wanted to keep the savings going. Right now, you can save up to $17,000 off MSRP on new 2026 Ram 1500 crew cabs.
America loves Ram trucks, but what about my perfect truck?
We have you covered at Hoblet. We are truck people, so you won't find a better selection of new Rams with the features that matter anywhere. Plus, with almost 600 new Rams available, your Ram is waiting at Hoblet. Just one of the reasons Hoblet is consistently one of the top Ram dealers, not just in California, but the entire nation.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
17,000 total net savings after 4162 dealer discount and 11,338 factory incentive. Incentives may include 15% below MSRP incentive, 1,000 Hoblet trade-in assistance with eligible trade, and 500 military bonus or first responder bonus for eligible members. 10th is net savings. Sample VIN 390660. See dealer for details.
It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
No Matt or Kayla today, as Kayla, I believe, is on her way to San Francisco to
Santa Clara.
Santa Clara. You're right. My apologies. I should know that.
I should know big difference.
Very big difference. They're still called San Francisco, which Santa Clara 49ers wouldn't ring. you know?
Bay Area football team.
Could you do something?
The Bay Area football team.
We could go all day on the Golden State thing, but
This is true.
can we figure out some variation of that?
The Warriors just claiming the entire state of California is pretty crazy.
Absolutely insane. It's insane, especially when there's 4 other teams here?
There are
or whatever
4.
There is.
There are 4.
Yeah.
Sacramento, Golden State, both LA teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. San Francisco Warriors sound solid, too.
And it used to be
Yeah,
that.
it used to be. Yeah.
Back with
even
Wilt.
the Oakland Warriors, why couldn't they have?
Well, they don't claim Oakland until
No.
they move out of there.
You could do Golden Gate. Like, if you want to be the whole Bay Area, you can be the Bay Area.
Right. Yeah, the Golden Gate Warriors.
Yeah.
Also, it's
Obviously
not the
just
Golden
as well.
Gate Bridge on their logo, though.
Yeah, it's not.
It's the
It's
Bay
the Bay
Bridge.
Bridge. Right.
Yeah. Which everybody from, obviously not from
Has
here,
no
would
idea.
know that.
No.
And I don't blame them in the slightest.
No, but it is just another, just another reason to hate them.
Like, who knows?
It's
Who knows?
It's like, where
Add
do
it
you
to the
guys? Where
list.
do you guys get off? Like, you guys weren't even good until 10 years ago, but you just claimed all of this stuff all that time.
That's why nobody cared before. They're just like, all
it's
right,
all right, those guys.
you don't actually
Those cuties
got
down
any
there.
of this
All
going on.
Give them a little noogie.
Well, one of the things that Kayla Anderson will probably run into down there during her time at Niners training camp is apparently Nick Wagner just reported that Ricky Pearsall is dealing with knee swelling. 49ers wide receiver related to the PCL injury he suffered last season. The team says, quote, all options are being explored and there is some, quote, concern. Chris, we mentioned in the break, usually if a team is saying that there is concern, not a very good thing.
Not a very good thing.
In our
at all.
experience, if there's some sort of Kings injury that happens on the floor or whatever, they might come over to us and be like, hey, it's just this or it's
We'll
just
provide
this.
updates later.
Yeah.
We will not give you any sense of it looked bad or
all options are on the table.
That is, you're not setting people up for a soft landing there. That feels like there's maybe a persistent issue that's been going. I mean, we're at the 3rd day of camp here, and if he's having knee swelling, that probably means he's been dealing with it throughout the offseason in general. I'm not going to claim to know anything about that healing process, but I think if you're having issues early in the season, it's just not going to bode well for the longevity of the year. And as funny enough, we were just talking about the dribbling, like where is he going to fit into the wide receiver room? Like that could be funny enough, like a very clear opportunity. And if we want to bring it a little bit, zoom out a little bit more, like Ricky Pearsall, they got to get this guy out on the field. And, again, long time till we are actually, in week 1, but it's just one thing after another with this Niners team in general. And it would just be really nice for them to kind of have a training camp where, again, on the field, things can be a little bit more controlled.
Ridiculous amount of injuries last season, and I would just like to watch a team that is not constantly dealing with these things.
It's constantly next man up. And they've, to be fair, I can't think of a better team or a team that has done better with next man up than the Niners.
Yeah.
Like, especially last season, whether it be Brock and putting in Mac Jones or, again, like Bosa being out and then Warner being out and just question after question. It didn't matter. Like, they were still a playoff team. They still had people to the very end believing that they could make a playoff run. And, I think, again, that really just speaks to the known identity, right? Like, we talk about it all the time in basketball, but how helpful is it to just know who you are as a team, what you're trying to accomplish? In football on a weekly basis, it's probably easier to keep that focus, but just no better team has been able to replace their soldiers and really have a minimal drop-off than the 49ers.
Yeah, it's probably a lot easier when the coaching staff gets to go up to these guys that are reserves and be like, hey, here's about 5 examples of the last season to where a guy that we thought probably wouldn't play ended up getting out there. So the whole stay ready ain't got to get ready. It's probably a lot easier to make that pitch for some of these guys. We'll see what ends up happening and keep you updated on any potential Ricky Pearsall or other 49ers training camp updates. We're going to get to Raiders stuff a little bit later in the show as well. If there's any sort of updates there, we will be sure to keep you posted. Another wide receiver, technically still on San Francisco's roster, is Brandon Ayuk. I don't know if you remember him. He's certainly not letting you forget about him.
I was going to say, he's very prevalent.
Allegedly, bought a house in Washington
I did see that, yeah.
Because for anybody unaware, he just desperately wants to go to the Commanders.
Yeah, he posted that stereotypical picture of like you with a realtor and the key, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
and it doesn't even, I'm not sure that the Commanders want him.
Yeah, that's
Jaden Daniels, ASU teammate.
Seems like they're beefing.
It seems like they're
beefing. It seems like
beefing.
it was caused by Brandon Ayuk himself, but it does seem like they're not seeing eye to eye right now.
With
And that
Brandon
was his
Ayuk-
main advocate, or only advocate, actually.
At least, funnily enough.
Even that. We don't even actually
Right.
know the Jaden Daniels advocacy side of this.
Ayuk made it sound like that
This
was
one-
his boy.
Hey, he got me, dude. He's got me. Jaden, tell him.
Well,
hey, we really just like went to college together, like.
We talk here and there. Like I had a pretty good relationship with him back when we were Sun Devils. Now he took the sun out.
Cool
I don't really know what's going on.
Like, it's like,
and then Ayuk on social media.
I went to LSU.
He says that he don't want to do all that social media stuff.
Crazy.
But he don't pick up when I call him.
Yeah.
What's going on here? Well, apparently Brandon Ayuk seemed to have taken some shots at, now speculating here, but you tell me what you think, at Kyle Shanahan. After Kyle Shanahan's little accident, we could do an entire show. I would never do this, but just going through Instagram comments and stories from Brandon Ayuk. Well, for anyone unaware, like we talked about, Kyle Shanahan did get into a car accident recently, and Brandon Ayuk goes on his Instagram story and posts just a black screen with the words that says, "You can't win the race if you crash out." Go over to the next slide. It says, "Keep your head up and stay in your own lane. You gonna win." Feels a little crazy.
That is out of bounds, I would say. That is a
flag on the play.
Below the belt. Yeah,
Yep.
Flag on the play. That's a red card. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to, like, it's bars a little bit. I'm not going to say that it's not, the one-to-one connection isn't being met there, but it's just like super like poor taste. Like,
Second one's kind of a good joke. I'm
that's
sorry.
I'm not gonna act like it's not there. Like,
The keep your head up, and stay in your own lane is that's so funny. It's horrible coming from him. I feel like there's something there, but like give it a year.
That's all I'm saying.
Give it a year.
Just give it some time to breathe. But I got it. In a year, that's going to be one of the funniest
throwback.
Throwback.
Remember when Brandon Ayuk said this?
It's going to be one of those things where people will. I think we're so deep in the saga that like people aren't really staying super checked in, and it's going to be one of those things where it's like, no, Brandon Ayuk like actually posted this 2 days after the accident. Absolutely crazy. I do agree with Anthony.
Kind of bars.
It's kind of
bars. They keep your head up.
It's pretty like it's so on the nose, but also does so directly apply to, I guess not directly, but in Brandon Ayuk's mind, it directly connects.
It's vague enough that he can deny it.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, he.
That is not vague enough.
That
is exactly what happened.
He doesn't. It's exactly the keep your head up part when Shanahan comes out and says, "Yeah, I dropped my phone. I was trying to pick it up."
Double entendres is crazy.
And stay in your own lane. He drifted into the other lane and hit a car.
I mean,
you're right. It's not vague at all,
It's a little
Anthony.
too on the nose, but man,
I said vague meaning he didn't say Kyle Shanahan. I guess
I will say it was the perfect post from the perfect person. Like it just if we were to draw it up, like that is like in a storybook movie or something, like that is a really, really strong villain arc post from Brandon Ayuk. It's solid. It's below the belt, but it's solid.
It is. It's probably not solid if you're still trying to get a job in the NFL. I'd imagine that's not really working in your favor.
Yeah, they
and
tend to
again,
talk.
apparently he wants to go to the Commanders. He hasn't been shy about that. Well, the Commanders GM had some things to say kind of about Ayuk, not directly, but about people posting on social media, players, and how that factors into the evaluation. We'll hear that on the other side. Brendan Nunes, Chris Watkins filling in for Matt and Kayla.
Follow Sactown Sports 1140 on Instagram and X at Sactown 1140 to see the best moments from all your favorite shows and up-to-the-minute live reactions and updates on the Kings, 49ers, and more. That's at Sactown 1140 on Instagram and X. Your local sports leader, Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This Green and Gold Injury Report is brought to you by the law firm of Gingery, Hammer, and Associates. If you get in an injury, just call Gingery. Bad news, Shea Langoliers has torn a meniscus in his right knee and will need season-ending surgery. The All-Star finishes 2026 with 23 homers and 51 RBIs. Mark Leiter Jr. has also played his last game of the year and will undergo right hip surgery this week. Some good news, Nick Kurtz is off the injured list and is back in action for the Green and Gold.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery. One of the most common questions I receive is, what makes us different from other law firms?
At Gingery, Hammer, and Associates, we handle your case from beginning to the end.
Whether your case reaches a settlement, whether it must go into litigation, or whether it has to go all the way to trial, we will be with you along the entire way. And because we are committed to your case, we are as invested as you are in making sure you get the outcome you deserve.
When you get an injury, just call Gingery.
Hey there, Mark and Tom here, the travel and entertainment guys, brought to you by Sports Leisure Vacations. Time for our weekly travel tip, and with it, here's Mark Hoffman.
You're online shopping for a hotel for your upcoming trip. As you browse the different hotel websites, or perhaps the site listing all of your choices in one area, you notice the pictures. Some are very specific. The restaurant on site with a name. A destination within the hotel the property is known for, like a pool with an ocean view. That's good. Look for those identifying features. Some aren't so specific. Perhaps it's the photo of the room that caught your eye. Lots of space, carpet and bedding appears in good shape. Your buying decision is being influenced by the photos you see, and not all of those photos are real. Be a detective when you're shopping online. If a business would use fake photos, what else would they do that isn't on the level?
More tips to make you a smarter traveler, Saturdays at 11 a.m., right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Country in the Park 2, presented by your California Army National Guard, October 23rd at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo, with Bailey Zimmerman, Russell Dickerson, plus more. Enjoy line dancing, live DJs, mechanical bull, and food trucks. Tickets start at just $70. Country in the Park 2, October 23rd at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo.
Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. More info at CITPFest.com.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $3 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-375-2322. 800-375-2322. 800-375-2322.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Maida Subaru says yes to big savings on the new Subaru you want during the sizzling summer sales event on now. Visit MaidaSubaru.com today for special spring savings on over 225 new and certified pre-owned Subarus.
Made a great deal at Maida.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Brendan Nunez and Chris Watkins here, filling in for Matt and Kayla, taking you up until 2 p.m. on Sactown Sports. If you missed it, we were just talking about Brandon Ayuk and some creative Instagram posts that I think are honestly a little bit funny, but also not in great taste, about Kyle Shanahan saying you can't win the race if you crash out, and keep your head up and stay in your own lane. You're going to win. The second one, again, creative. And it seems like this guy is trying to go to the Washington Commanders. Not seems like. I mean, it's
he's
fully
quite
there.
literally begging.
It's fully there. I saw a post today. Now, I didn't do my research, admittedly, to really figure out if this was true or not, that apparently he is doing a signing for Commanders fans. Signing, I don't know what. I'd imagine people haven't made Brandon Ayuk jerseys.
This guy's a really good troll.
He is. He's entertaining.
I've never been the biggest football fan of Brandon Ayuk, but he's a really good troll.
He's
got a career.
He's
That's a
filling
funny
time.
take. You don't like Brandon Ayuk, the great
football
wide
player?
receiver. It's a
The
you're a fan of
one
what's
of
going
the
on
goats.
now.
One of the goats.
He has filled
Him and
plenty of
AB right now.
segments.
Him and Antonio Brown right now are going bar for bar, and I kind of got recency bias. I can't lie.
I think I'm still taking Antonio Brown's running in the backyard, Raiders tenure. The
Oh
helmet
my
didn't
God,
fit,
I forgot about
everything
him
going
running
on
in
with
his
his feet
backyard
or
when he
whatever.
got cut. Oh
Yeah.
Yes, in the feet.
No, AB's got to
You're
take
right.
the crown.
What am I talking about?
AB's got to take the
What am I
crown.
talking
Ayuk still got time, though.
Oh, yeah.
Ayuk still got time.
Hey, man.
Well,
We're talking about a
yesterday-
generational prospect here.
We are. Yesterday, the Commanders general manager was asked in a very creative way, essentially about Brandon Ayuk, or more so, how much does a player's social media factor into your evaluation? Here is his response in the question.
Adam, one for you, just in a general sense, as you're always looking to improve the team, when you're evaluating guys to maybe bring in for workouts, whatever, what role, if any, does kind of a player's social media have in that evaluation process?
That's a good roundabout question.
What a badass you are. Straight badass right there.
But no, we look at everything, JP. I mean, it's a great question, but we do look at everything, and we want to make sure it's the right player to be in our locker room, in our bloodstream, and in our culture, and we often we look at that stuff. I mean, it's not always the first thing we look at. Obviously, you're looking at the tape, and you talk to the teams that the players have been on, and how they were in the locker room, the players that have played with them, and so on and so forth to make those decisions. But that's not usually a huge part of it. Usually.
Is that good? Is that bad? Is that what are you reading that at? I take that as we are definitely we see it, and it's not necessarily a positive. Like, if you're going to say we look at how that's going to then reflect in our locker room, I can't imagine you look at Brandon Ayuk and say that we need more of that.
Yeah, it can't be a great thing. He also mentioned we talked to former players or former teammates, and George
Adam
Kittle,
Peters, you would
the
imagine,
guy
has pretty good connections.
seems to love everybody. Isn't there?
Yeah, he was on Buzzing with the
I hate to just
Boys,
do
I
a
think.
Justin Bieber reference right now, but
Yeah,
how he
Kelly
says
Perez.
my mom doesn't like you and she likes
Yes,
everyone. I feel like
yes.
that's George Kittle.
Sure,
Right?
yeah.
If George Kittle doesn't like you and he
Right.
likes everyone. Like you said, he was on Buzzing with the Boys and essentially, I don't have word for word, but definitely didn't seem to be too fond of
He had an
Brandon
opportunity
Ayuk.
to potentially squash some of the intensity of how much Brandon Ayuk is really affecting the locker room, or how much it affects them and hears them, and he pretty much I would say he pretty much threw him under the bus without him already. I mean,
Yeah.
he was already under the bus.
Yeah.
He pretty much was just like, no,
We gotta go somewhere,
it's all good. You can back it up. So yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you that when you are which is of course what Adam Peters is going to do, right? Like, any sensible decision maker at that level is going to not only take his own evaluation of the situation, but he is going to ask those actually inside the locker room, inside the facility, and I'm sure he's got endless connections with the 49ers, with him obviously coming from that organization to Washington. I didn't even factor in his own actual experiences with Brandon Ayuk, which he's probably seen and been privy to all of the secret conversations that really go on with John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. So, I think if anybody has a true idea of what the Brandon Ayuk situation is, it's probably Adam Peters. And I just can't really see how you can justify bringing Brandon Ayuk in at this point, because it really isn't just, I just brought up Antonio Brown as a potential, comparison for how he's been acting, but Brandon Ayuk's also coming off a leg injury. We haven't seen him play since
It's been a while.
Yeah, like it's been a really long time. So not only we all know how sports works. You're willing to deal with a certain amount of headache if the talent is there.
Right.
And when the talent is just a complete question mark, but the attitude is so far gone on one side, it just, why? Like I don't understand how you can justify it unless you're truly in the most desperate state you can be in. And I just don't think, the only reason to bring Brandon Ayuk in right now, if you're Washington, is just because, you want him to kind of get acclimated with the offense and learn everything. But I just don't understand why Washington, and it doesn't appear that they are, but I don't know why Washington would be in any rush to bring in Brandon Ayuk. Like, clearly that situation is going to play itself out. The Niners seem pretty firm in their stance of Brandon Ayuk is a contracted player, and we just can let him rot, essentially, if he's upsetting us to a certain extent. So there's only so much that Washington can really do, and I think I think normally people side with the players on this. I actually really side with the Niners being like, hey, man, like, you signed this contract. You're not going to bully us by just being a lunatic and essentially devaluing yourself. Like, we're just gonna keep you. Like, we have no obligation to do right by you when you have just been an absolute lunatic for about 7 months now.
It's kind of a middle finger to Ayuk, and it's in response to him doing the exact same thing to him, obviously. Washington still has Scary Terry over there as their primary guy. I wouldn't say they're desperate for wide receiver help necessarily. Obviously, if he was productive, I'm sure they'd be glad to take him, but that's a question in its own mind. And he's been so clear, Brandon Ayuk, that he wants to go to the Commanders, that like the media storm surrounding him going there would just not be fun. Now, again, if he's a productive player, sure, that could outweigh it. Like you said, talent over the drama, as long as the talent is actually there and the productivity does exist. But would they actually offer the Niners anything halfway decent? At this point, I probably don't want him.
Yeah.
I don't even know what other team around the league, like the Raiders took in Antonio Brown, I guess, after all this, right? We saw AB get opportunities. AB's also a way better player at that time than Ayuk was. Like, it's not even close.
Not even remarkable. Like, not even close to a conversation.
I struggled to imagine him being on a team this year.
I agree. I mean, and it's really funny. I didn't think about it until now, but he has really pigeonholed himself to he can only go to the Commanders. Like, he has been praising the Commanders. He has been begging to get moved to the Commanders. If all of this ends with him on the Steelers, like, I don't see, to your point, why would any random other team want to jump in on this and say, hey, why aren't we being included in all of, I want an Instagram tile on the Lions, like, come over here. Like, I just don't think anyone else is interested in his services. And, I really don't know why the Commanders would be interested. So yeah, to me, it feels like, Brandon Ayuk, I know it's definitely too late, but he should probably start to try and play nice here, because at the end of the day, unless he just wants his contract to run out with the Niners, besides eating a hole in their pockets, like, they don't really have any obligation to move off from him. And I'm sure the Niners are trying, if I had to guess, this is a complete assumption, I would be trying to go to the league office and say, look at what this man is doing. Like, this has to be in some sort of breach of contract. Can we get some contract relief or something, because this guy is just not playing, like, he's just not playing ball.
Yeah, they voided a lot of his money last year, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yes, that is correct.
And I mean, shoot, you'd imagine he's not doing this without some sense of idea that the Commanders were at least 1 point interested in getting him. You don't buy a house in Washington without knowing, hey, this team kind of wants me.
Right.
Now, that definitely could have changed ever since, and we will see what ends up playing out, but never-ending drama and things to talk about with the Brandon Ayuk saga. We didn't really have any drama in Las Vegas, our most recent trip to
were you on a different trip than me?
No, well, we could get into it a little bit. Alan Stiles was a lot to keep up with, and I think we've talked about Niners for a little while here. So on the other side, going to get into our takeaways from Summer League and the current state of the Sacramento Kings. Brendan Nunez, Chris Watkins filling in for Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Follow Sactown Sports 1140 on Instagram and X at Sactown 1140 to see the best moments from all your favorite shows and up-to-the-minute live reactions and updates on the Kings, 49ers, and more. That's at Sactown 1140 on Instagram and X. Your local sports leader, Sactown Sports 1140. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. What's up? It's Matt George. What's good? It's Alan Stiles.
With the most trusted voices in the community.
This is Jason Ross.
Hey, it's Kayla Anderson.
It's Whitey Gleason.
Ready to help promote your business, both as partners and customers. All you have to do is ask. Pick up the phone, dial pound 250 and say, grow my business to get connected with a team member today. That's pound 250 and say, grow my business. Our team will review your product, quickly pair you with a perfect endorser, and create video and audio samples all at no cost or obligation to you. With the most live and local on-air lineup, a dynamic content-driven website, and a state-of-the-art mobile app, Sactown Sports 1140 is tailor-made to help you connect with a sports audience in Sacramento. So why wait? Dial pound 250 today. Say, grow my business, and let us help take you to the next level.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. I mean, mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. And yeah, I've been on the air here just shy of 25 years. And you guys know that when I endorse something, I have a few very important things. Number one, I love it when they're local. Number two, I have to be willing to use them myself. This is where Pest Pros came in, or comes in, I should say, because I've known these guys as Kings fans a long, long time. I also have a mouse problem at my house. I also have a cockroach problem at my house. And I did it the old-fashioned way. Went through Facebook, got a hold of these guys. We became friends. And when I found out what Pest Pros does in the community, I thought, I've got to have you guys on the air. We've got a partner, locally owned, locally operated. Their kids go to school with your kids. You're going to get pest control somewhere. Get it with Pest Pros. Here's how you get a hold of them. PestProsPS.com or call them at 916-588-9345. That's 916-588-9345 and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports 1140, your local sports leader. It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
Brendan Nunez and Chris Watkins here filling in for Matt and Kayla, taking you up until 2 p.m., where the Drive Guys will then take over. Some of our Las Vegas Summer League buddies, Alan Stiles and Kevin Whitey Gleason. The Kings did play in Vegas a few weeks ago. We were out there. A few weeks? A week? How long has it been?
Since we were out there?
Yeah.
2 weeks. Yeah, it wasn't last week. It was the week before.
Yeah, that's right. My bank account hasn't recovered
No,
yet.
not even a little bit.
No, I would not say so. Overall, decent time. So we had a Airbnb out there that we were all. It was a lot of people to spend a week with.
It was a lot of people, a lot of different people.
Who was there from the station?
It was me and Chris, Alan, Whitey, Jay, and Frankie.
Okay. And then Jay Ross in a separate building.
That's right.
He was there on the Kings Accord.
Okay.
So he was in the Kings Hotel.
Yeah, we didn't really account for
looking
him.
down on you guys.
Well,
essentially, he didn't get invited to the
If
team
you listen
dinner.
to the station, apparently we were looking down on him.
Yeah. Remember the whole team dinner drama?
Yeah,
Did you hear about this at all?
No, I was camping in the woods.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Apparently, yeah, we went out to dinner one night and didn't invite J. Ross. Other people were messaging us. I'm not going to get into this, but just to give you a little bit of backstory.
Even that's like, it's not that we didn't invite J.
No,
Ross.
other people that were out there. I'll just say, Sean Cunningham was texting me trying to figure out what
Name
we
drop.
were going to do that night. He doesn't care.
He does not.
Trying to figure out what we were going to do that night. And I was just like, dude, I don't know. Like, I'm hangry right now. I'm trying to figure out dinner. So I, as a way of getting out of that with Sean, was like, oh, we're having a team dinner because we all were going. We were all going to dinner. And apparently Sean was hanging out with J. Ross and told J. Ross that we were having a team dinner. And then it didn't really become a thing, but back here, it became a thing somehow.
Sounds like it's your fault.
It is definitely my fault. It is definitely my fault for calling it a team dinner when it was not a team dinner. But anyways, we were out there covering basketball. The dinner was cool. The pasta was good. The place we went to was amazing. Actually, it was
You're just
very
piling
good
on.
food. It was really
so
good food.
Oh my gosh.
Like, yeah,
The
Jason would have
vibes,
loved it.
Immaculate.
Ridiculous. But got our first little peek at Darius Acuff playing some basketball for the Sacramento Kings. Alex Caravan out there, Emmanuel Sharp, Neat Clifford, Maxime Reynaud joined the team a little bit late, didn't play in the California Classic, and missed the first game, maybe 2 games in Las Vegas as he was coming back from playing FIBA games for France. And Dylan Cardwell out there as well. I think just starting with Acuff overall, what were you hoping to see, Chris, from Darius out there, and did it kind of meet your expectations overall?
I was hoping to see, I guess as a general term, just a little bit of dominance. Like I wanted him to really look, for even if it was for a quarter, and I know he had that one big third quarter in the game where I think it didn't really end up meaning much, but I wanted to see some moments where it's like Darius Acuff is just flat out the most talented player out on the floor right now of every single person out there, and I don't feel like we ever truly got that moment, especially with the ball in his hands. It felt like in that third quarter explosion, a lot of it felt like it was off ball or kind of getting the ball and making a quick decision or a quick shot off of it. So, I just kind of, wanted to see a little bit of this guy being head and shoulders above some competition, and I just never really felt it. But saying that, there was definitely some positives. It's not like he, completely stunk up the joint. There were times where he was able to kind of assert his will and get to the rim. But I would say overall, I was left wanting to see more, I think, at the end of it all.
I would say so too. Just to start with, I guess, the negatives, since I am more of a skeptic, I am also a big believer in do not overreact to Summer League.
Yes.
Right? There are plenty of examples of players playing extremely well out there or playing bad and then coming through and being good, right? Everybody loves to do the Jalen Brunson sucked in Summer League thing, and I'm like, this guy was a second-round pick,
he was
by the
supposed to
way.
suck. Yeah.
And so that one feels like a little bit of a disingenuous comparison. But there are other ones as well that I don't have on the top of my mind, that guys that did not play well. Trae Young, I think, is maybe actually one of the better comps that did not look did not look polished, or of course not polished, but that productive. Yeah. And the concerns people had about, like, this is a ball dominant player. He's a small guard. Very small guard compared to the NBA level, and that showed in Summer League. And people are like, "Oh my God, we traded this guy for Luka. Like, this is not looking very good." And then guess what? He's been a really good player. I think some of those concerns have played out throughout the course of his career.
Steph Curry was another one that people brought up. He just didn't shoot well in Summer League, which is his whole thing. So
turns out he's a pretty good shooter.
Yeah.
Turns out 8-game sample size. Not always the biggest thing to go off of. There are times you could pull from a regular NBA season and be like, hey, look at this 10-game sample size. This guy stunk it up.
Right.
And it's like, oh, well, yeah, it's 10 games. I think it's maybe 8 games that the Kings played max throughout the course of the California Classic and Vegas, somewhere 7 to 9 games, something like that. I believe it's
5 in Vegas and 3 in
that sounds
Sac,
right to me. That sounds right to me. Maybe 6 in Vegas, whatever.
Yeah,
same point stands, right?
Time is a construct.
And I will say, I think the concerns that I had with Acuff coming in, you did see actualized a little bit about this guy is very ball dominant, and it felt like it was the Acuff show. while he was out there, right? Like Nick Clifford, I thought was a little bit underwhelming. Not that he was bad. I think it was about par for the course, but it's one of those of, I thought Nick would have looked like one of the better players out there with how well-rounded his game is, being a second-year player.
Last year too, in
he did.
League,
He had a better summer league in his rookie season than his sophomore, and I think partially because, well, he didn't have the ball in his hands that often.
Right.
It was Acuff, and that's what this season, I'd imagine, is going to be a lot like for the Kings. Now, still Zach LaVine, still Domantas Sabonis, but there were times where I just thought he was forcing things, and it was the shot selection that I'm just like, again, this is sort of what I was worried about in Arkansas. It felt crazy to critique his offense, given just the numbers and productivity that he had, but I'm like, man, this guy's a tough shot maker, meaning he doesn't generate that much space on his shots. He just knocks him down with a guy in his face. And that's a lot harder when you're guarded by these ridiculous defenders at the NBA level. Like, I thought the Nets maybe gave him some of the most problems.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, absolutely. With their massive lineup that they put out there.
Yegor Demin, like being the point guard on that team. All of their team was 6'5", 6'6" plus. And I thought that gave him some problems out there. So I think you saw that actualized a little bit. There were the defensive moments of, damn, so you just wandered away from your guy for no reason, and turns out they passed the ball back to him and he was wide open, So some of those things that you see a little bit, and I guess the concerns that already existed, but overall there were also moments throughout the game to where, okay, you had a really poor first half, right? The 9 of 29 game in his California Classic debut. In the second half, it's like, okay, you started to get downhill. You started to generate more shots. I don't want to sit here and say, like, well, they were just all bad looks. Like, he showed the positives of why people like him as well. That tough shot making, the resilience to continue playing through bad performances and end up turning those around. That third quarter that you mentioned ends up looking a little stat patty, but it made his numbers look good. And it's less about winning games out there, right? I'm sure like Alex Caravan, most winning player in UConn history, sitting there saying that he's super mad that they haven't won a game in Vegas yet until their final one. You want to win the games and get your third banner, your third Summer League banner. Shout out Lou King, Finals MVP out there, just for a point of reference for how little Summer League really matters. Shout out Lou King, though. But yeah, I mean, it was, to me, about par for the course. And a nice little reminder, again, taking Summer League with a grain of salt, that there's going to be growing pains. It's not like this guy was going to come in and dominate the league right away. I know everybody loves to say this is Allen Iverson or some ridiculous comp that honestly makes no sense because Acuff doesn't handle like Allen Iverson, and that's kind of the entire thing that he's known for. He just looks a little swaggy out there. He's got a cutoff shirt and
a cutoff in the
armband,
the
armband that goes perfectly with the sleeve that he's got. He looks. He looks the part, for sure.
Aura, brother.
Aura.
Come on.
Aura for sure. But, I don't think there is anything drastic to take away from his performance out there.
No. First, on the Neek front, I would say that I completely agree with everything you said, and I hadn't thought of it. But, yeah, he absolutely had a better rookie season Summer League than his sophomore season. And I kind of feel like if I had to attribute the second-year slump, if you will, I would say it's a little bit of victim of it was tough to draw the line of like how much of this is Neek isn't playing well and how much of it is he doesn't have the ball nearly as much as what he did, we'll just say, for example, in the previous Summer League. And like, every time he gets the ball, he's like, well, this is probably the only time I'm going to get it this possession. Let me make sure I do something with it. The thing that was most surprising to me throughout the Summer League process, whether it be Cal Classic or Vegas, and we saw it in both, is that Neek wasn't asked to be that backup point guard. We knew Darius Acuff was going to get a lion's share of that role, and they were going to try and get him as many reps as possible, but I was shocked to see how much they had Emmanuel Sharp bringing the ball down and setting and running up the second unit. And I know Isaiah Stevens, who the Kings just cut yesterday, was also a part of that, but he was Isaiah Stevens was much more of the third unit point guard than the second unit, which was, again, led by Emmanuel Sharp. And so I feel like that really, really dampened the potential for Neek's Summer League as well, because, again, it just felt like when you throw in he wasn't getting the backup playmaker role, how much Acuff has the ball in his hands when he is on the floor, it just kind of felt like, where was Neek really supposed to fit into all of this? It felt almost like instead of Summer League being an opportunity for him to expand his game, it was, hey, let's actually really reduce this Summer League experience down to what your role is probably going to be like with the big club. And I mean, in my opinion, that shouldn't be what Summer League is for. Summer League should be for expanding your game, for allowing Bam Adebayo to play point guard. Like, it should have been.
That's always what I think of,
it is. It is, because that is the spirit of what it is, man. Like, you're supposed to use this as your sandbox, as an opportunity to get these guys real live game reps, and an opportunity to kind of, break the seal in a competitive environment that isn't a regular season game. So I would have liked to see Neek have the ball more in his hands. And on the Acuff front, I mean, you and I have had plenty of conversations. I'm right there in lockstep with you. I just think I would have liked to see, like I said, just more domination. I would have liked to see more separation. I'm a lot more of a process guy than a results guy. Like, yes, the result, sometimes you mention him as a tough shot maker. That is the number one thing that I know is his NBA skill. If you want to, again, use the Vivek Ranadive superpower thing, Darius Acuff's superpower, I do know, is he is a damn good tough shot maker. That is a blessing and a curse, because you need those guys when the shot clock's winding down, but it also kind of means that a lot of time he's not getting separation. He's not, using his craftiness to get open, and it feels like a lot of the times he's settling for tough shots that you mentally say you can live with because it's Darius Acuff. But the reality is, at the NBA level, I just don't know if he's going to be that good. He has to be such a ridiculous tough shot maker to justify some of the inefficiencies. Like, I would just really want to see, does Darius Acuff have the capability of going 11 for 15 in a game?
Right.
Or does it have to be, no, he was 11 of 30. I don't want our point guard to be a volume shooter, and again, it's very, very early. We're in Summer League, but It just feels like Darius Acuff's path, even just development path right now, is let's get this guy to take as many shots as possible and figure it out. And, time will tell whether that works or not. But to me, it's just a little bit clunkier of a process, especially we're just talking about developing one guy. I don't really see how the development of the entire unit fits into that. Like, it just, I don't know. Yeah, again, Summer League, I would have wanted to feel a little bit better about that, the how the situation's all going to come together. And it feels like right now I have probably more questions than I did even before Summer League. And I know Alan said that, and kind of a lot of people looked at him a certain way.
Why do you want it, even so, if Darius Acuff is like the best player on the team, like he's supposed to be at some point, why do you not want him to be a volume shooter because he's a point guard? Like, why do you not want the point guard to be a volume shooter?
I think it's more of just well, by nature, I think volume shooter is you're just taking the shot that's available and not necessarily looking for the best shot that's available. And yeah, that's probably more so. It's just when you're going to play the point guard position, there has to be so many other things going through your mind. And if you're a volume shooter at point guard, I just think that ruins mentally every other guy. Like, Keegan Murray already is like, when am I going to take a shot? If Darius Acuff is taking 30 shots and he's playing with Zach LaVine and he's playing with Domantas Sabonis, like, it's just, that's where there's only one ball really starts to show up. And I would like to see a little bit more of, and I think you can be a volume shooter and that's okay. But to me, it's more of the mentality of, it doesn't feel like Darius wants to pass. It feels like he passes only when the defense has completely taken away all of his available shots.
Do you think it's because of the way that the Kings are currently set up, or is it just like you would rather that not be the position? Do you consider like a Jalen Brunson a volume shooter? Like,
I guess that's a good point.
Or like Duren.
Yeah, I guess I would consider. Yeah,
like Steph obviously is, but sure. Duren is the shooter. I mean, not Duren. Sorry, Steph. That's crazy. Steph Curry is like the volume shooter, so that's an outlier.
I guess I would say Brunson is a volume shooter, but I would also, I guess it's maybe just a stylistic clash where I don't think that's the best equation for success. Of course, the Knicks just won a championship, so who am I to talk? But I just don't really feel like in basketball, typically if you have one guy who's just absolutely dominating the shots like how he does, because it's also, whether you're getting it in the flow of offense versus you're dribbling the air out of the ball.
I mean, it's James Harden, Trae Young, right?
Yes, exactly. There's a way of putting up 15 to 20 shots a game. And I don't know. It just
That makes sense.
stylistically, I think it's more of a stylistic clash than a blanket volume shooter clash, I guess.
Right. I guess the way that he would make his teammates better by doing that is the drawing so much defensive pressure, right? And I think you even saw that at Summer League a little bit. Not a little bit. More often than not, he was getting double-teamed. He was getting blitzed coming off screens. And using that a little bit to help other guys get looks, whether it was Maxime Reynaud, I think was probably the main beneficiary. You would have liked to see it more from Nick Clifford. I think Nick Clifford's kind of the prime example of what you're talking about of, well, how does he make his teammates better, right? And Nick didn't necessarily look better playing next to Acuff. Now, maybe that's a Nick thing. Nick hit the game winner in the first game of the California Classic. That was because...
In which he said he didn't think he was getting the ball.
He did not think he was getting the ball. And I guess it was kind of because Nick's defender was hedging a little bit over, shading off over towards Acuff, and he ended up passing that ball off, and that's the thing that you like to see, even though that was like the most basic pass I've ever seen in my life, and everybody hyped up the pass. It's more about the mindset of it, right? And so fair enough there. I do find it a little bit funny, and you're actually the one that pointed this out to me. All Summer League first team, right? Take this with a grain of salt. Cameron Boozer, Grizzlies. Braden Burries, Bucks. Braden Burries balled out there. Yaxel Lendenberg, Warriors, who won the Summer League MVP, which I believe Summer League MVP is literally just for the final game. By the way, it's not the entire thing. Like, that's how Luke King won it out there. Caleb Wilson on the Bulls. And then Darius Acuff teammate at Arkansas, Malik Thomas, looks really good out there in Summer League. And I think you start to be like, again, you're the one that pointed this out to me of like, well, does that say anything about Acuff? Because Malik certainly didn't look that great at Arkansas, and he wasn't getting the amount of touches in that same way. So I think it makes you wonder a little bit of how much this guy really is making his teammates better. Again, this is a 19-year-old. That's something that he's going to figure out throughout the process. While there's the Trae Young, James Harden example that I do think is more on par with Acuff, there's also like Damian Lillard, I think, is the comp that I probably liked best for Acuff. Now, reaching that would be a massive success. I'm not saying he's going to be Damian Lillard. I think that's the ceiling of what we're talking about as a player, where he does fit that volume shooter mold. And because of the gravity that demands, he made other guys better. CJ McCollum still got to get his. If you go back to, I mean, I guess there's a comp here somewhat of like LaMarcus Aldridge is what Domantas Sabonis is supposed to be for this team, right? When LaMarcus Aldridge was, I mean, even then they're very, very different players because LaMarcus is getting his own shot and getting buckets out there as well in a way that Domas is more so helping set up his teammates. But I do think it's an interesting thing to see what stylistically they are going to look like, because I think for the most part, I side with what you're saying. I don't enjoy the brand of basketball that you see a lot of people crap on, the Luka Doncic style of basketball as well. Now, these are phenomenal players, Luka, Trae, James Harden, but it is their show. And it's you live and die by their decisions. And James Harden, Trae Young, great passers, but it's also all right, I couldn't get mine, so now I'm going to dish it off to the other guy with 8 seconds left. And this is why Jalen Johnson looks so much better after Trae Young gets moved on from. Tyrese Maxey looked way better after they moved on from James Harden. These are also young players that just came into their own over time, but I think there is something stylistically about the way that these guys play that makes it a little bit complicated for other players to shine. And so the Kings definitely need their, I hate the term, but like alpha player out there, and Acuff projects to be that, drawing that defensive pressure. I'm curious to see what that looks like alongside Domas and Zach LaVine, who's in a contract year and I think is going to need his shots. Like I'm actually fairly optimistic about how Zach LaVine will play throughout the course of this year. Now that's given a low bar that was set last year and year and a half that he's been on the team so far that has not looked very good for Sacramento, but going into a contract year, this last year, he's got an opportunity to get paid. It's more about like the Keegan Murrays, right? Who already is trending in a negative direction compared to his rookie year.
Starting a new contract as well, isn't he?
He is starting a new contract where he just got paid. He got paid pretty highly. And so a lot of expectations that he's going to be able to rebound no pun intended, literally rebound,
yes.
and shoot the ball better, closer to, I think that they have confidence that he is still as good of a shooter as what we saw in his rookie season, even if last year he was under 30%. Like, I also think that's probably an outlier. Now, give me another year of him not shooting well, I don't think you can sit here and say that anymore. But it is a little bit curious to see how Acuff will, or if he will, positively impact the other guys on the floor as well. What did you think of some of the second-year players? We talked about Neat Clifford a little bit, but what about Maxime Reynaud? I think he's a guy that had a really good first game out there after coming back from his time with France in that FIBA tournament and had a above 20-10 game in the first performance. I keep saying I feel like there's not a shot that he doesn't like out there. Max is going to get a lot of shots up for sure, and typically he's fairly efficient. He was shooting the three ball a bit more out there, but what did you feel like you saw from King's second-year big out there?
Yeah, I mean, I think for second-year guys, you want to see them look like they don't belong out there. Like, they should look like we are a level above this, and frankly, playing in this summer league is beneath us. And I think we saw a little bit of that with Max. We saw that clearly. And, I think with 7-footers in general, it's a little bit easier in summer league because guys, they just run out pretty random lineups at times, and a lot of rosters just don't have any 7-footers out there. So it can be a little bit easier for those guys, but I think Max looked great. Like, you want to see that confidence. You want to see him expanding his game like we wanted to see with Neek, shooting threes, and again, just really looking dominant out there, rebounding at a high level. I thought it was pretty much what you would want to see from Max. I don't know if you would necessarily say he went above and beyond, but I think you can pretty confidently just kind of put the check mark next to his name and say he did what we needed him to do. And I don't think we need to reevaluate his ceiling or anything like that, but it feels like at the very least you don't have to feel like last year was a fluke, I guess, or maybe he was just a Russell Westbrook merchant or anything like that. Like, Maxime Reynaud undoubtedly has his own set of individual skills that can make this team better. Like, I still feel like it's a little bit clunky with Domantas Sabonis entering the equation, but I think undoubtedly there's a role for Max to really carve out this year and take forward with his career. Like, can he be a sixth man scoring center? It's not really something you see in today's NBA, but I just really am curious as to how much he can blossom this year. How good can we realistically think Maxime Reynaud is going to be at the end of this year? Because pretty soon here, the Kings are going to have to start thinking about a post-Domantas Sabonis world, and does that include Maxime Reynaud and Dylan Cardwell? Is it just one of them? Is it neither of them? Like, I think by the end of this year, I would hope to get pretty close to having a definite answer on that question.
You would certainly hope so, and I think that there's a real world where Maxime Reynaud plays less minutes this year than he did last season. Last season, he's averaging 26 and a half a game. He started in 56 of the 76 games that he played in. It's like, okay, is he a 4 alongside Domas? Yeah. Are we talking backup 5? Because he's also, in a way, competing with Dylan Cardwell, who was out there at Summer League as well. He had 17 blocks in his 6 games.
How many fouls did he have? 17?
He had.
I bet he had
I have
20.
it here. Higher.
You know what? 20 is foolish because he was like, I
7
think he
games.
was above 6 every single game he played.
He averaged 5.3 fouls per game. He had 32 fouls.
How many minutes?
He was playing roughly 23 minutes a game, roughly.
So he does. So he's one of these glorious. Doesn't even have the per 36 does not exist because he would have 9 fouls in his per 36.
You get 10 fouls a game out there in summer league by game.
I don't think he fouled out in any.
He
got really close.
5 games or 5 fouls, 6 fouls, 9 fouls.
There we go.
4 fouls, 3 fouls, 5 fouls. Okay. Again, averages out to just a little over.
In some of those games, he
5
played
personals
less
per game.
Minutes than that 3 foul game. I bet that was like an under 20 minutes.
He played 20 minutes and 18 seconds in that game. The 9 foul game, he played 24 minutes. 9 fouls in 24 minutes is impressive.
That's incredible.
2 blocks in that one for what it's worth. There's a 4 block. There's 2 4-block performances. There's a 5-block performance.
There's like assist to turnover ratio. It feels like maybe there should be like a block to foul ratio.
There should.
Maybe should apply because at some point it's like, you're kind of.
Someone's definitely tracking that.
Kind of being a little funky with the numbers there,
Probably. He also went 0 of 2 from the 3-point line. Every time he shot it, I was like, oh my God, brace yourself. and not much better from the free throw line.
I was going to say, I think his 3-point shot looks better than his free throw.
6 of 15 from the free throw line, 40%. And
underhand, man, like what's the fear? What
apparently he changed his free throw routine.
You should change it again.
It's one of those where it's just like, I think if he was higher on the scouting report and playing more often than other
it
teams,
would just be a hack a
Cardwell. Like
actually.
Get that guy to the line.
Mitchell Robinson. So yeah, I mean, if the Kings make the NBA Cup playoffs or something,
give it a year.
You know.
Honestly, they'll do it in a regular season game. Mitchell Robinson got hacked a lot.
He got hacked a lot.
And it was a good idea.
Yeah, I was like, it worked.
There was a reason that it happened, and it was must-see TV every time he was at the free throw line. I'll tell you, I love watching.
Especially when he had one hand. Those playoff games where he's got one hand and he's already like a 44% free throw shooter. It's like,
it's one of those where you wonder, you're like, does having one hand like help him possibly?
I think it does. No, seriously, I think it does.
Because
it's got
anything could help. Like you're like, it can't get worse.
Just underhand.
It's got to get better in some way here.
Call up Rick Barry.
Call up Rick Barry. I need to see more of the underhand free throws going on a little bit.
Somebody's got to break the seal.
Somebody's got to figure it out. I'll do it. I'll do it. They might not go in.
You give me 5 NBA minutes, I'll do it. I don't care.
Just for entertainment value. Well, figuring out where these guys fit in on next season roster, assuming the Kings have more health next year, I think is its own equation, and something we're going to dive into here on the other side. Is Maxime Reynaud going to play the 4 more next to Domas? Where does Dylan Cardwell fit into this entire equation? We'll get into it here on the other side. Brendan Nunes, Chris Watkins filling in on the Matt and Kayla Show, Sactown Sports.
Follow Sactown Sports 1140 on Instagram and X at Sactown 1140 to see the best moments from all your favorite shows and up-to-the-minute live reactions and updates on the Kings, 49ers, and more. That's at Sactown 1140 on Instagram and X. Your local sports leader, Sactown Sports 1140.
Get as loud as you can for Monster Jam!
The one and only Monster Jam. Packed with stunts, smiles, and jaw-dropping skills. See the world's best drivers tear up the dirt in your favorite Monster Jam trucks. Like Gravedigger, El Toro Loco, Sparkle Smash, and more. Only at Monster Jam. Coming to Golden One Center August 15th and 16th. Brought to you by BKT Tires and Morgan & Morgan. Specially priced Saturday night tickets available.
Hi, this is Adam Johnson, owner of Golf Fitness Solutions. Exercise and golf have been 2 important activities in my life. I opened Golf Fitness Solutions in 2013 to help my fellow golf enthusiasts improve their posture, relieve their pain, gain strength and endurance, and most importantly, hit the ball farther. From beginners to professionals, I've had success working with all ages and all skill levels, and I can help you too. Located in Carmichael, call us at 916-802-5175 or go to golffitnesssolutions.com.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
The other guys must think you failed math. Get this huge discount. Then the fine print hits you with $5,200 in mandatory ads. It's adorable in a scammy kind of way. At Hoblet, we skip the tricks. The price you see is the price you actually pay. What a wild concept, huh? Hoblet, family owned 77 years. Experience the difference online at hobletdodge.com.
Country in the Park 2, presented by your California Army National Guard, October 23rd at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Russell Dickerson. Plus more. Enjoy line dancing, live DJs, mechanical bull, and food trucks. Tickets start at just $70. Country in the Park 2, October 23rd at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo.
Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club in Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. More info at CITPfest.com.
like we've
just about
done an all right job working through a little bit. A lot of Niners talk to start the show. Brandon Ayuk drama. Still checking to see if there's any new updates on the latest training camps for both the Niners and the Las Vegas Raiders, but currently focused on Sacramento Kings conversation. We just went through some of our general takeaways from what I would say was overall a disappointing summer league for the Kings, but not overly worrying either. Just you would have liked to see a little bit more. And while we were out there in Vegas, also noticed that the Kings were by themselves the lowest odds to win the championship next year.
Really? Oh,
by themselves.
I didn't see that.
Kind of crazy when you consider the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
I would throw New Orleans Pelicans
Taking
into
Brooklyn
there.
would be hilarious.
Brooklyn, I could see Brooklyn having a better record than the Kings next year, but I'm also not betting on it. And I also would think there is zero chance that either one of those teams win the championship.
You believe in Michael Porter Jr.?
Literally zero. No.
Finals MVP?
No. No. Absolutely not. I believe in Michael Brown.
There you go.
Not Finals MVP, but I believe in Michael Brown. And their over-under, the Sacramento Kings, was also set at 21.5 wins. They won 22 games last year. Yeah. 22-60. And that's with Domantas Sabonis not playing very many games. I believe it was in the 20s. DeAndre Hunter, who they traded for midseason, played 2 games. Really a game and a half. You remember he's on the team, by the way?
I was like an hour and a half in first
mention. You did say,
yeah.
can we get through the show without mentioning DeAndre
impressed.
Hunter?
I thought you shoehorned. I thought that was on purpose.
No.
Wow.
No.
Shout out DeAndre.
Because he matters a little bit.
I remember those 2 games.
I kind of do.
It was like 1.1 games, I think.
Yeah, because he got poked in the eye pretty
quarter.
early on in that second game.
Yeah.
Didn't really get a chance to see him. He may be starting.
I think a lot of that has honestly been the question that I have been asked the most is what is the starting lineup going to be? And I think it's really just a question of DeAndre Hunter or Maxime Reynaud. In my mind, it's pretty obviously DeAndre Hunter. But
I would easily go Hunter there.
To me, that makes the most sense. I think there still is a lot of people holding on hope for Domantas Sabonis at the 4 and or just maybe Max and him have different enough offensive skill sets or take up different real estate to where they could play together. But for me, it's a lot cleaner, especially if you just do the simple math of looking at the previous champions. Just Keegan and DeAndre Hunter are your OG and Mikal. Obviously, there's levels to it, but just using that as the 1-for-1, like that just makes the most sense for how basketball is played today. Have Sabonis as your center, have those 2 guys be your forwards, and then run Levine and Acuff in your backcourt.
No Dillon at the 5 starting?
See, I have made, especially last season, I made the argument that in my mind, Dylan Cardwell is much more of a starter than Maxime Reynaud. That does not mean Dylan Cardwell is a better player. It does not mean Dylan Cardwell does more things. It just, to me, means Dylan Cardwell has a very, very definite role that is a small role, but he rebounds, defends, brings intensity. And I would rather just like bring that in with the starting lineup of a bunch of scorers where Max is going to be out there and say, Acuff's out here, Levine's out here, Sabonis is out here, Keegan's out here. I don't really need to score. I need to do everything else. And that's, I mean, honestly, Max's best trait has been his scoring. Everything else is kind of the question mark with him. Like, he's not an elite rebounder. He's not really anywhere on the defensive end. Would you say that he's a plus? Like, I think that it just makes more sense.
Yeah, I saw that as the second most often when people are suggesting lineups. Obviously, Hunter and then Sabonis playing the 5 is the most common one that I'm seeing, just because, like you said, the Knicks won a championship. The 2 defensive wings, you kind of deal with it everywhere else.
Right.
But moving Sabonis down, Max doesn't really fit there, in my opinion, but Dylan does.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you just think of Max trying to chase around
OG
or Max trying to chase around, Jaylen Brown, shoot LeBron James. Like, I would just much rather have one of Keegan or DeAndre Hunter at that spot. And it's going to be tough too with, I mean, those 2 are the defender. Like, Keegan and DeAndre Hunter in that starting lineup have so much responsibility defensively because we know Acuff is, we'll just say he's a rookie. We'll just say that. Zach LaVine, he's terrible. He's terrible
not many
defensive.
expectations.
And then Sabonis is, especially from a rim protection standpoint, like a bottom tier center in the NBA. And so defensively,
Max isn't giving you anything on that
exactly,
end
exactly. And that's where again Dylan maybe does help next to Sabonis. He can maybe patch that up, but then just as much stickiness on the offensive end there, where Dylan and Sabonis play a lot of. At least in terms of around the basket, if they are going to get points, they both need to operate around there. So it's a little bit, it's just mucky. It's not a, they're a more complete roster than they were last year, but at the same time, these holdovers, the Zach LaVine and Sabonis holdovers are just making frankly, the Scott Perry acquisitions just not really make sense. When you think about it, it really is a team of, Keegan Murray, of course, but it is Scott Perry acquisitions and then, Zach LaVine and Domantas Sabonis, who are just kind of not the puzzle pieces that fit right now.
To use like some random examples of opponents and why I also think that Keegan and DeAndre Hunter should start together for defensive purposes, you play the Minnesota Timberwolves, right? And they've got LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards out there.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Keegan Murray on LaMelo, and then DeAndre Hunter on Anthony Edwards. You still got to figure out Jaden Daniels. I actually have no idea where you hide Acuff. I don't know who the three on Minnesota is projected to be next season. If Dante DiVincenzo is supposed to come back healthy,
Randall's out.
Io,
right?
I wonder,
So
are
Gobert
they
at
going
5
3 guards with Io? Because they did just pay Io a lot.
They did.
I think that's probably the plan.
Yeah, and LaMelo and Ant are both bigger
God, and I
guards.
have no
I think
idea.
Ant's playing the
Acuff.
3
He would
technically.
have
Okay.
to, yeah.
So I
Ant's
guess Io or Darius Acuff guarding Io
Yeah.
in this scenario, which you don't love. The Kings aren't going to be a good defensive team next year.
Neither of their guards, I think, to your point, neither of the Kings guards are going to be more than likely guarding the other team's point guard. Like the point of attack defender is not a guard for the Kings, which
it's
seems
Keegan Murray.
like again it just creates a weird shuffling of the deck that creates mismatches elsewhere.
If you start Maxime Reynaud, what is all of a sudden defensively? I'm like, I don't even know what to do.
Yeah.
You have Acuff or Keegan on probably Anthony Edwards, maybe LaMelo Ball. I would say probably Anthony Edwards. Then you go Acuff on Io, Zach LaVine on LaMelo,
McDaniels,
and then like Maxime Reynaud, I guess, is the one you're putting on Jaden Daniels. Ideally, you'd get to put Zach LaVine on Jaden Daniels, right? And that's why you start DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah, I think you would put. Yeah, exactly.
And same thing, like if we use another example, the Clippers, right? You have Darius Garland and Brandon Ingram to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, that's why I want Keaton Wagler to worry about, and so that's why Bradley Beal technically still on that team. Like, I think that's why you probably would lean towards that starting lineup. There's certain scenarios where maybe you say you're playing the Utah Jazz, right? And I mean, there's still a problem.
Yeah.
There's still a problem. They have a
massive.
ridiculous amount of size.
Yeah.
Where like I think that Cam Boozer's supposed to be the 3, and then Lauri Markkanen
for Utah,
and Jaren
it's
Jackson.
Darren.
Or yes, sorry.
You have Darren,
Right.
Ace Bailey, who's
Right.
massive, Laurie, and Triple J.
And then Keontae George.
Keontae George, who's a big guard.
Right. So I guess when you have a larger lineup, it's like you still have Lauri Markkanen running through screens,
Yep.
and I think that's a tough guy to guard. But it would make a little bit more sense potentially to start Maxime Reynaud in that scenario. I still think you'd rather have DeAndre Hunter guarding him.
Yeah, and I think it also reaches a point too where you have to. The famous Malik Monk quote, right? Again, after the Clipper game, they got to play us too. And I think if you're in the position where you're looking at their starting lineup and you're on the defense, you're thinking, how do we adjust our lineup to fit theirs? You're already kind of playing an uphill battle at that point. I would like it to where the Kings say, when DeAndre Hunter is out there, it allows us to play like this, and that is when we are at our best. And yes, we might lose some height on the other side, but they have to deal with our side of things too. Hopefully that's to the point where we can get. But to your point, I do think last year especially, the Kings were much more, from a roster or a daily starting lineup perspective, they were much more in a defensive, who are we going against? How do we combat that starting lineup?
Which, to your point, is never a good spot to be in. You want to run your own race, have your own identity, make other teams have to respond to that a little bit.
They deal with your mismatches. They should be thinking about Lauri Markkanen. How does Lauri Markkanen chase Keegan Murray around? Or how does he deal with the speed of DeAndre Hunter. Like, that's what you need to be thinking, and maybe that is how they're thinking. But if you're adjusting and putting Max out there on the defensive end, to me, that's you're thinking way too. Not saying you, but yeah. I think the Kings would be in that situation. Just on their heels, and I think maybe they should be, but again, that's just not a position of power, and hopefully at some point here we can get to they're playing against us.
They want to have an identity. That was the whole thing last year, the whole thing coming into this year.
Plays right into
and
it.
so you should probably try to have some consistency in order to try to do so.
Yeah.
Coming up on the other side, going to look at some of the numbers from Sacramento last season. Surprise, surprise, they were not very good, but where can they get better, and where will one of their former players land in this offseason as he's still roaming around out there in DeMar DeRozan? Brendan Nunez, Chris Watkins filling in here for the Matt and Kayla Show.
Like and subscribe to the Sactown Sports 1140 YouTube channel at Sactown Sports 1140 to get the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Matt and Kayla, and the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles on demand and at your fingertips. Get your fix of the Sacramento Kings, 49ers, Giants, Athletics, NFL, NBA, and the latest in sports and entertainment all in one place at Sactown Sports 1140 on YouTube. Your local sports leader, Sactown Sports 1140.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. What's up? It's Matt George. What's good? It's Alan Stiles.
With the most trusted voices in the community.
This is Jason Ross.
Hey, it's Kayla Anderson.
It's Whitey Gleason.
Ready to help promote your business, both as partners and customers. All you have to do is ask. Pick up the phone, dial pound 250 and say, grow my business to get connected with a team member today. That's pound 250 and say, grow my business. Our team will review your product, quickly pair you with a perfect endorser, and create video and audio samples all at no cost or obligation to you. With the most live and local on-air lineup, a dynamic content-driven website, and a state-of-the-art mobile app, Sactown Sports 1140 is tailor-made to help you connect with a sports audience in Sacramento. So why wait? Dial pound 250 today. Say, grow my business, and let us help take you to the next level.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize! Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct. To the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hi. I'm Justin Gingery from the law firm of Gingery, Hammer, and Associates.
When you have been injured by the fault of another, you will want advice you can trust. If you know an attorney you can trust, I hope you call that person. But if you don't, please call me. I promise I will be the attorney you can trust.
Along with my partner and associates, I have been helping accident survivors recover for their injuries for over 25 years.
And we can help you. There's no charge for calling, so please call us today.
When you get an injury, just call Gingery.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Girl, it's back. We've been waiting. I love that honey pepper pimento sandwich.
And that pineapple dragon fruit and Sprite is everything. It's got that razzle-dazzle that makes you stop and say, okay, wait a minute.
I love the creaminess of the pimento cheese. It's savory, it's bold, it's flavorful.
Our faves are back. High five, girl.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good night's sleep.
Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
No Matt George, no Kayla Anderson, actually. Brendan Nunez and Chris Watkins here, filling in on the midday show. And talking a little bit of Sacramento Kings. Not much going on right now, but we can always figure out some things. And a little bit curious where this team that won 22 games last year, and albeit while dealing with a ridiculous amount of injuries, where can they actually get better next year? And will they get better next year? Just to go through very basic numbers, but they were 26th in offensive rating last season. It's not very good for those people unaware. There are 30 teams in the league, so you are right there among the bottom. And the only teams that they were above when it came to that defensive rating, they were 28th. They were above the Washington Wizards and the Utah Jazz. Two teams that I think we all expect to be a lot better next season. That's defensively 28th. Offensively, 26th. They were ahead of the Brooklyn Nets, Washington Wizards, Indiana Pacers, and the Dallas Mavericks, actually, last season. That put them at 28th in net rating, the third worst in the league, only ahead of Washington and Brooklyn. Head coach Doug Christie and general manager Scott Perry have been pretty clear that they want to figure out an identity for this team and have some sort of style of, hey, when you turn on Sacramento Kings basketball, you know what to expect. Right now, I do know what to expect, and it's not very good. But it feels like a lot of that has to do with the defensive end of what they want, at very least. We just talked about how maybe if you're starting Keegan Murray and DeAndre Hunter and have those guys available more than the combined, 25 games or whatever they played last year at most, that maybe you could see a little bit of progress there. But if the Kings were to have some sort of identity next season, Chris, what do you think that they could consistently do on a night-to-night basis? It's a tough question.
It's a really tough question for me to try and think about. I don't know, because I think, to your point, Scott Perry and Doug Christie have very clearly been preaching that they expect the identity to be defense.
Right.
The problem is the personnel does not speak to that whatsoever. And funny enough, like I could use what I just said in the previous segment against, like, this is a lot of Scott Perry's guys. And so it's weird that now, of course, Sabonis and Levine are the highest paid and kind of by virtue the best players. And so how much of that just kind of naturally dictates the play? It just feels like even though Scott Perry has a lot of his guys in there, a lot of his guys still don't necessarily play that defensive gritty edge that I think we all had in mind when he continues to preach about that. I think Neek and Dylan are probably the most, just gritty, I could see both of those guys playing on the Knicks, frankly. I could see how you could see Nick Clifford and see a version of Josh Hart, and how you could see Dylan Cardwell and absolutely see a version of Mitchell Robinson. And they're good picks. They are. But I just don't necessarily know if those guys are impactful enough to overall, frankly, impact the identity of your team. It feels like a lot of your identity either has to come from your head coach or from your best players. And we know Doug Christie is preaching 94 feet and defense being the head of the snake and all that stuff. So I would have to lean towards the players being the reason why they don't really have an identity. And long-winded way of saying I just don't see how Domantas Sabonis and Zach LaVine and, frankly, Darius Acuff fit into that identity or any sort of molding towards that getting closer. The closest that I could see is if by the end of the year – LaVine and Sabonis have kind of either literally moved off of the team or kind of spiritually understood this is more of an Acuff-driven unit, and we are pretty much let Darius Acuff flow the offense, and we will try and just defend and, I guess, hold guys to under 110. Like, that's the only way that I can realistically see them getting towards the identity that we have been promised, I guess. Like, anything else would be an identity that is kind of naturally formed. Like, that's probably realistically how it actually happens. But it's been a weird two ships passing in the night, it seems like, of what they want to be versus the actual product that they put on the floor these past, whatever you would say, year or since Doug Christie took over, really.
It reminds me of, now there's definitely differences that I'll explain, but like when Monty McNair and Mike Brown were pushing in different directions, right? Monty's just talking about like, well, we just have to be, they were the number one offense of the league, and then they fell off the following year, and Monty's like, well, we kind of got to get back to that. And Mike Brown's sitting there being like, listen, we got to be a good defensive team. And they were pulling in opposite directions. And the only reason I draw that comparison is because they are talking about wanting to have this defensive identity. There are also offensive things that they want to be part of their identity of sharing the ball, three-point shooting, spacing, pace, the things that literally every team wants to do for what it's worth. I don't even know that you'd call that an identity.
It's
maybe
kind
the
of
pace.
Basketball, a little bit.
The pace feels like the biggest thing.
But even that's modern basketball.
I always go back to, you will never hear a new coach come in and be like, yeah, we want to play slower.
Yeah.
Never happens.
No.
Never happens.
No.
But a little bit funny to be like, hey, we want to be a defensive team, and then you go draft Darius Acuff, right?
Yeah.
And they need that sort of offensive player because, again, they were the fifth worst offense last year. But even when you look at the teams that were worse than them, the very few, right? Like Brooklyn, TBD on like what they'll look like, right? But Washington, you expect to be a lot better.
You would think.
AJ DeBonsa, obviously Anthony
AD
Davis,
and
Trae Young, another year from some of their other guys with Keyshawn George, Trey Johnson, and some of the other guys they have there. Dallas, I was a little bit surprised, was this low offensively because Cooper Flagg, obviously, I think is a bigger star than anybody that we mentioned so far. They have Kyrie Irving coming back as well, still PJ Washington, Derek Lively. They're a very weird team to try and figure out.
They make more, like, that identity to me is closer to what Scott Perry is talking about than anywhere that we are at right now.
Is that just because of Cooper, essentially?
And I think, more so in that structure of, like, it is Cooper Flagg is their offensive engine, and then it's, it's PJ Washington.
Play finishers.
Gafford. It's all these guys who don't need the ball in their hand and are doing everything else. And like you said, the Mavericks were worse than the Kings offensively last year. But I think if you want to try and maybe lean more towards we want to win games versus stylistically get to a place where we have a beautiful running offense, like I think that is a closer example to what we might see by the end of the year. It's just Darius Acuff led and Nick Clifford and Maxime Reynaud and Dylan Cardwell and
Zach Domas.
All those guys are more just role players, and it is just the Acuff show.
I wonder because I'm really curious about how the whole Domantas Sabonis and Acuff thing will fit together. I'd imagine, like, we know what Domas likes to play, right? And part of the reason that Sabonis is a complicated player is because you have to cater to his play style. And that's that dribble handoff game that has been so essential to why he's made people better. That was a big part of the Beam team. And I don't think that Acuff did that much. Like a little bit at Arkansas. But Yeah, I mean, like you're saying, really not that much. And that's going to be a new thing for him to work through that I do think would be beneficial, but I'm curious how much that will actually take place. It's going to be growing pains, right? It's the same way when Levine ended up being with Domas, and Domas is like, I'm still getting used to playing alongside him. Zach likes the ball in his hands. He was pretty vocal about that last season. And so I think offensively is where I could imagine improvement. And ideally, you have better spacing with Keegan and DeAndre Hunter, both kind of hypothetical shooters. Hunter more of a proven, I guess, compared to Keegan, who's really slowed down there. But that's where I'm curious to see if they will have some improvement next year, because there were so many injuries that impacted that team. There is still one, didn't get to it this segment, but there is still one former Sacramento Kings player that started every game that he played out there last season for the Sacramento Kings. DeMar DeRozan apparently has 4 rumored landing spots that we will talk about in this 12 o'clock segment. And I got a fun little game to play as well of pick one Kings player for each one of these questions. Who do you want taking the final shot? Who's going to lead the team in scoring? We're going to get to that here on the other end. Brennan Nunez and Chris Watkins filling in for Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
This is Sactown, baby! Follow Sactown Sports 1140 on Facebook at facebook.com/Sactown Sports to keep tabs on the Kings, 49ers, UC Davis, and the entire Sactown Sports lineup all season long. Facebook.com/Sactown Sports. Your local sports leader, Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-375-2322. 800-375-2322. 800-375-2322.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Card collectors know there's nothing as special as a rare one-of-one card. And now you can hear a very rare one-of-a-kind sports card show right here on Sactown Sports. Whitey Gleason here inviting you to join me and Mr. True Sports Cards himself, Emran Pilati, for the True Sports Card Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sactown Sports. It's the only sports card radio show in the nation. For all your hobby needs, get to True Sports Cards, 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland. And for hobby, insight, and fun, join us for the True Sports Card Show Saturday mornings at 10 on Sactown Sports.
cheap, cheap.
That's the sound of savings happening right now at Elk Grove Honda. You remember, right? Elk Grove Hondas are still cheap, cheap. And right now you'll find a good deal more on new Honda gas and hybrid Accords, Civics, CRVs, and more fuel-efficient Elk Grove Hondas. Every sale is done right here, under the flag in the Elk Grove Auto Mall. Come see why generations of families return again and again to Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, because Elk Grove Hondas are
cheap, cheap.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports 1140, your local sports leader. A.m. to 2 p.m. Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Halfway through the show today, Brendan Nunez and Chris Watkins here filling in for Matt and Kayla on the afternoon show. 12 o'clock hour. Appreciate midday show. I always do this.
I know.
I always do this.
Tough.
I said afternoon show.
It's technically afternoon. So
it is.
We are technically doing the afternoon show right now.
It is 2 minutes afternoon. And yeah, I always also hate the term afternoon because I'm just like, obviously you take it very literally. Yeah. That means after 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
But when somebody's like, oh, you want to hang out this afternoon? Yes. I'm just like, well, when are we talking about? I have no, or this evening?
I'm taking that as 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock?
If you're telling me afternoon, that is my
when do we reach
general
evening?
Assumption. Evening's probably like a 5.
5, 6.
5:30. We'll say 5:30.
Okay.
Anything after 5:30 is easy.
Okay.
Like dinner time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ever know anyone who referred to dinner as supper?
Not really. Not really.
You know any?
I feel like that's a little from the South.
Little House on the Prairie type people or something.
Yeah.
That's the only people I can imagine.
No.
I watched The Departed. You know that movie a couple days ago?
Yeah.
Crazy pull. But it was one of the things they said on the phone when they were like, they couldn't be conspicuous because they're undercover. And they're like, I won't be home for supper. And I'm like, that's the most conspicuous thing you could have ever said.
Yeah,
like you're at a sting for a drug deal and you're saying, I'm not going to be home for supper. I'm going to look right at you. You're undercover.
Yeah.
Supper is a code word.
Yeah. That's clearly some narc activity.
Exactly.
Right, like nobody is casually using, that's like the, hey, if I ever tweet this, like, no, it's not my account. Or like I've been taken or something. Yeah. If someone says supper, it's like read the in between the lines.
So please. You also don't know anybody that says
not a
supper.
single person. No, I actually just saw. I think I saw a restaurant downtown that it was like evening. I think it was called something supper, and I was like, has anyone ever
like their
supper
supplements or supplements? I tried to. I'm a big alliteration guy.
It's true. His, drugs.
Thinking out loud.
What's happening?
Well, yeah.
He said he forgot to take his medications.
I did off my rocker today. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Well, someone in the twilight of their career.
Wow.
I was gonna say afternoon of their career, and it doesn't go. Doesn't go at all.
Twilight's got to be like a post 8:30. Maybe even later.
Later. That's
Twilight has to do with when the sun's going down.
Is that
right?
maybe even like a factual? See, this is where my ignorance would come.
I think.
Okay.
Well, now you guys are taking me as like a scientist, and I'm just. I just.
You're on the other side of the class, man. Like this is the responsibility that you carry.
If somebody says you want to meet at twilight, I might block them. I'd be like, you are scaring me.
Meet after twilight for like a I don't know. I was gonna say to fight, but it feels like that's a little bit too like.
No, like
I would instantly be like, this guy is not. I'm probably going to win this fight if it's like, hey, man, meet me under the stars at Twilight. You and me, mano y mano, don't bring any friends.
Twilight is me and Alan Stiles out in Vegas. That is Twilight. That is the Twilight times. Again, twilight of his career,
anyways,
DeMar DeRozan, who spent a couple years with the Sacramento Kings, obviously. Now one of the, I guess you would say, best remaining free agents on the market, which is fairly dry. For what it's worth, apparently there are a couple teams reportedly interested in landing the former Sacramento King, and I'd imagine future Hall of Famer. Would be pretty surprised if that doesn't end up being the case. Shams Charania mentioned the Miami Heat, Denver Nuggets, and Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, yesterday, he also mentioned that there is another team interested in DeMar DeRozan. Here is Shams talking about that.
One new team over the last several days that has had some conversations with DeMar DeRozan, the Washington Wizards. You think about a team that's clearly trying to compete around Anthony Davis, Trae Young, and AJ DeBonsa. We'll see where that goes.
Yeah, we will.
The Washington Wizards. We will see where that goes. What do you think about Washington as a potential landing spot for DeMar? Obviously, AJ DeBonsa, as he mentioned, Trae Young, Anthony Davis.
That's so off the board, right? Like, am I wrong? Like, I hadn't even considered them as a team that makes sense for DeMar. To me, it doesn't really. I don't really see how he highlights anything that they don't have. Like, to me, DeMar is obviously such a we'll just call him a microwave scorer, I guess. Like, that is if he's coming to your team, you want him because he's 15 to 20 points of offense when he's out there. And so I don't really think on a team with Trae Young, AJ DeBonsa, like Anthony Davis, of course, is a great defender, but he's still got some offensive game to him as well. It just feels like at some point there's maybe too many cooks in the kitchen, and I would almost be worried, especially given how DeMar played these past couple seasons. I don't necessarily know if that's who I want out on the floor with AJ. Like, I'd rather have AJ taking all the shots that DeMar's probably going to take. Literally the same. I would actually rather have AJ take these turnaround mid-range jumpers than DeMar, because I can at least tell myself it's in the name of development than, DeMar DeRozan just being a mercenary for a season.
Yeah, he's a weird player to figure out where he fits in general. Yeah. Like, just kind of a dinosaur in the modern NBA, unfortunately. The mid-range game. I wouldn't necessarily...
He's a little bit of a DH, too, I think, at this point, right? Where
That's a good way to put it.
He's so one side of the ball that...
Yeah.
If he's impacting your winning situation at all, it's strictly offensive, and he's maybe even hurting you on the defensive end.
I think the best case scenario is what we saw for CJ McCollum last year. And I thought Atlanta made sense before they got CJ of, hey, we just need somebody that can settle the tides a little bit when the other team starts to go on a run, and just somebody needs to get a bucket. It's an 8-0 run, get to the line, calm things down, but also not be our primary guy. Like, Jalen Johnson's the one running the show, and to be fair, CJ is more of a complimentary guy as well. That's a role that he's played a lot more throughout his career than DeMar has. Obviously, I wouldn't qualify DeRozan as a ball stopper, but he is a very specific, because I think ball stopper means not a willing passer, and I think that DeMar is a willing passer. It's just he's the slow, strategic, get to my spot, and throws off the pace.
He's a play finisher, but it takes him a while to get to that finishing move, I think.
Very much so.
He still has to set himself up.
Not spacing the floor necessarily or anything like that. And I think this is why it's weird. If you're a younger team, you're like, well, you're taking touches away from some of our younger guys. This is probably why Sacramento decided it was best to move on. They also had financial reasons that factor into that. Other teams mentioned the Miami Heat.
They make the most sense. They are.
Norm Powell
you don't
gone,
even have
your boy.
to think about how that fit makes sense. It's so naturally. DeMar can play his game, just be offensive, and Bam and Giannis. I think the real question for really any of these teams for DeMar is he in any of these closing lineups? Because when I even think about him in Denver, I love the fit. I could see how, they kind of need, Cam Johnson wasn't that Michael Porter Jr. offensive boost that they were hoping. They weren't hoping for an offensive boost from Cam Johnson. They hope that Cam Johnson can kind of be at a certain level offensively that there wouldn't be such a drop-off from Michael Porter Jr. Feels like DeMar can kind of make that gap up. But does DeMar finish?
Another Jamal Murray in a way.
It feels like to me he's somebody that it at least gives the option, and I'm thinking playoffs only.
Yeah.
It's another guy that you can hunt. You could hunt Jamal Murray, but you could also have the option of getting DeMar DeRozan in a pick and roll and getting him at the point of attack. And I could see that losing it for Denver. And I think at the end of the day, as great of an offensive weapon as he can be, a team like Denver cannot afford to just lose a game off of a possession battle because DeMar DeRozan can't get stops and Jokic is getting buckets every single time,
Not a great fit with Jokic when it comes to the Denver DeRozan.
It's not really a cutter much.
No, not that he can't, and I think he's a smart player, but same way with, he didn't really play
off of Domas.
Right. They shared the floor, but I think that's part of the reason, one of the key things to be where you can be like, well, where did the Beam team fall apart? It's they started to get guys that didn't fit anymore. Mm-hmm. They needed to go get OG or Pascal, and instead they went and got DeMar DeRozan, which didn't make that much sense, right? Harrison Barnes played better off at Domas than DeMar, and that's not a shot at who's better. DeMar's obviously the better player than Harrison Barnes, but they're just different stylistically. Cavaliers also super... That one's the weirdest.
That's we missed out on LeBron. This is consolation prize.
Yeah, it feels like it. To me, what I think DeMar would be best utilized at this point in his career is being Jamal Crawford for a team, for example. Be that six man, and maybe you are starting, first guy subbed out, whatever it may be. But hey, Jokic is sitting. And now we just need some buckets, right? And Jamal Murray is getting all the offensive attention, so let's get another guy out there alongside him. Yeah, sometimes you need a closer out there for these games as well. Like, I think Miami losing out on Norm Powell, like, to your point, they need offense.
They just need, Miami has all the capabilities to hold everyone under 110 points a game. They need to reach
Wiggins, and then obviously Giannis, Bam. Yeah. Like, that team is set up to be really good defensively.
And obviously Giannis as well can get his offense with Giannis can get stagnant in general with the way that he plays, just line drives, straight line drives. And then when you think about the spacing on that team, how terrible it already is, adding DeMar DeRozan to the mix, Can you just make it work? Like, I kind of feel like it's already at its base, right? If you have Davion Mitchell out there who's just categorically not a shooter, Andrew Wiggins at his best is like a 36-37% three-point shooter. If you have DeRozan out there who's not a 37% three-point shooter, you have Giannis out there who's not a shooter, and Bam who's not a shooter. I just don't know how much damage DeRozan is doing that isn't already done.
Right, and this is. Like, maybe he's just running the second unit,
and he's just a bucket, right?
You don't need all those guys out there at the same time. It's like also when you have, I can't believe I'm saying this, but like Ryan Conwell out there, second round pick. I know, it's crazy. It's only because I really liked Ryan Conwell in the draft, mainly just from watching Michael Brown, and I was just like, hey, this other guy's pretty good. Oh, hey, he's a prospect. What do you know? But I was going to say Duncan Robinson. Duncan not on the team, but like those type of guys, right? And I think of Conwell as like the same sort of archetype, but you could see him running a pick and roll with Bam in a second unit, or just him and Bobby Portis can be the Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell of
even
their
just
second unit.
Like, I think DeMar can be out there and not have it be the end of the world because he has Giannis and Bam behind him. I don't think in either of those other, I guess maybe you could say Mobley and Allen, but if he's going to be out there, he's going to be a defensive liability. You're going to need some form of protection behind him.
Yeah.
I don't think Denver can provide that. And I do think, funny enough, if DeMar, which we've seen, he's in a spot where he wants to play. He wants to play every game. He wants to play 40 minutes.
These are all contenders, too, outside of Washington.
Exactly. He is not trying to coast or ring chase or anything like that. He wants to be an actual contributor. In my mind, Miami gives him, that's where I see him playing 30-plus minutes with that team, just because, again, they need an offensive, I wouldn't say an engine, but they need a guy that can kind of keep the offense going that isn't Giannis.
I'm with you. I think Miami makes the most sense. I'd put Denver second, and then Washington and Cleveland are just weird to me.
Yeah, those are just random, completely random.
Not doing it for me. But it would be cool. I would love to see DeMar actually get to play meaningful postseason games. How much he's actually playing would be one question, but we will see. And meanwhile, the Kings no longer with him on their roster. There's, I think, an interesting hierarchy of who is going to play what role, and I have a little bit of a game I want to play with both of you fellas. Just a handful of different questions that we can go through fairly quickly, or take your time thinking them through, think out loud, whatever you want, both Chris and Anthony, and I'll give my own answer as well. But name me one player for one Sacramento Kings player on the roster next season for each of these questions. If you want to talk it through, give a couple options, whatever it may be.
Gotta pull up the roster,
but
honestly.
First one we got. This maybe was DeMar DeRozan last year, but no longer here. Who do you trust most to take the final shot in a close game?
Trust is crazy.
Trust the most. I didn't say you trust them a lot, but you trust them the most.
I can tell you who I want taking the final shot. I don't care if it goes in or not. I want Acuff taking the final shot.
I think that's the answer. I think either way, it should be Darius Acuff taking those shots early in the season, or probably be Zach LaVine if we're being honest. But like we said earlier, Darius Acuff, his what I identify immediately as his elite skill is his tough shot making, and we've already seen him in the Cal Classic hit a tough game winner. I think that's the exact role that they need him to be, is somebody who is not afraid of the moment and actually embraces those moments. And for better or worse, is somebody who just, you live with the results. Because I think we got to that point eventually with De'Aaron Fox. I don't think a lot of people loved his jump shot, but it was definitely to the point where we all said, De'Aaron's going to take this shot, and we know it's going to be a jumper. We hope he gets to the rim, but we're just going to have to live and die with whether or not it goes in. And it feels like that's going to be a lot of Darius Acuff this season.
And I want to see if he makes the right read sometimes. Like he did that one time. He passed it to Neek, and Neek hit the game winner at the California Classic. I think that's
positive reinforcement for sure as well. I wonder how much of Darius Acuff, as you kind of mentioned earlier, like the Malik Thomas thing, Trayvon Brazile drops 30 in Summer League as well. Like, I think the more that Darius Acuff sees that everyone else is also at an elite level at this level, that it would encourage him to pass. I think a lot of it is maybe he has always been head and shoulders the best player on the teams he's played for and hasn't really trusted his teammates. Maybe now he gets to the point where I'm playing with Zach LaVine and, I know that dude is a certified bucket. Like, I don't feel bad about passing the ball. I think the problem becomes when he feels like he has to do everything himself.
A lot of LaVine in the chat, by the way. LaVine is by far the most common one. Someone said eventually Acuff right now, LaVine.
So people are trying to win games, is what that sounds like.
Maybe it's the trust wording.
Maybe it is.
I would trust LaVine more right now, but I want Acuff to do it.
Yeah. No, I think that's the way of putting it.
One Malik Monk in here too.
That's interesting. Has Malik had a lot of opportunities for clutch shots? Feels like maybe not a game winner, but he's. I think in the Clippers game, right? Yeah, he hit that corner.
He did hit a game winner in that one.
Yeah, or it was like a pump and then dribble.
Yeah.
Pull. He hasn't really gotten in a lot of opportunity, but I guess with the word being trust, I actually don't feel bad about Malik Monk having the ball just in his hands, and I could see Malik creating his own shot in that situation. So that's not a bad answer.
I want Acuff with the ball in his hand. If he passes it, I trust I want him to make the right play. I don't know who's going to take the last shot, but I want him to make the right play.
That's where it should be too.
I would agree.
That almost has to be where it gets to.
Next up, who will lead the Kings in scoring next season? Last year was Zach LaVine at 19.2.
He only finished with 19 points a game last season.
19. Only played 39 games.
Yeah, but even then.
Yeah, a little bit surprising. Wow. Contract year for him.
Yeah.
And then obviously you have Acuff coming in.
Right. I think it'd be pretty tough for a rookie to go over 20 points a game. I'll say Zach. I'll say Zach pretty confidently. I think Zach will be at 22 to 24 if I had to guess.
Yeah, contract year. He should get back to the mean at least.
Yeah.
Like he has been averaging over 22-ish for most of his career, I want to say.
Yeah.
And just get back there.
Might not be pretty, but in terms of he's very efficient, but it might not mean wins, but I think Zach will definitely at least get back to getting his numbers. Because at the very least, to Anthony's point, he's either working on getting a new contract or he's working on building up his value to get the hell out of here. So either way, I think it's very advantageous for Zach LaVine to look more like the Zach LaVine that he was before he got here.
I think it's got to be LaVine too. The only other candidate is Acuff, right? Is there a world where Keegan Murray's in this conversation?
There's a lot of Keegan in the chat.
There's no way.
I think that it's hopeful thinking. I think that people want Keegan to have a breakout season. They've wanted this since after his rookie year.
I just haven't seen enough creation himself. I would believe yes, ideally this would be a season if we're just talking about the stages of his development, this would be a really opportune season for him to have that sort of boost, but I just haven't seen enough. You have to have some self-creation in order to get to 20 points a game, and Keegan has that little step back mid-range jumper, but besides that, we just haven't really seen him make his own offense.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine it being him. And YouTube chat, feel free to, and text line, feel free to chime in on the conversation. Somebody did mention Domas. I think it's hard to imagine. What is the most that Domas has averaged in his career?
I think it was probably Beam Team season 20 points. I know he reached 20 points a game.
Yeah, it was 2010 and 8 or something, right?
Yeah, almost exactly. Or
19.4. He averaged 20.3 when he was an All-Star with Indiana.
Okay.
But in the Beam Team year, 19 points, 19.1, 12.3 rebounds. He's always efficient. 61% from the field, 50-60% from the field for sure. But I think it's got to be Zach. The contract
he's just not aggressive enough in his looking for his shot. Sabonis probably could average 25 a game, but he's just not how he plays.
I would love for it to be Acuff.
It'd be great.
Just take over. Take the team.
On 42% shooting.
Yeah, let's do it.
Why not?
Yeah. Get him up.
Why not?
Scoring 20 points a game as a rookie is just brutal. Not many people have done it. I mean,
No.
Tyreek Evans, I know, did it, obviously. I think Luka.
Probably Cooper last year.
Got to 20. Yeah, Cooper got to 20 last year. You just have to have the ball. I mean, and I think he's going to have the ball in his hands a ton, but there's just other offensive guys. Like, Zach LaVine is out there going to take shots.
Yeah, for sure. Next one we got here is who will be the best player on the Kings by the end of the season?
Who's the best player on the Kings right now?
Domantas Sabonis?
Yeah.
Probably still going to be Sabonis unless he gets traded, right? Are we expecting
I guess that's the question, right?
Acuff to just be better than Sabonis by the end of the season?
Right, this is why we said end of the season, right? Is do you think Acuff will get better?
Or are you insinuating a trade? That's
we could leave it as the current roster.
Okay. Then I think it's just going to be Sabonis.
I think it's got to be Sabonis then.
Other candidate, I guess, would just be Zach or Acuff.
If I wanted to be really fun, I would say if we're talking about if the spirit of the question is LaVine and Sabonis are traded, who's the best player on the team? I would want to say, just to have fun, Maxime right now.
Wow. Wow. Definitely having fun.
Yeah, I disagree. I mean, I like
if
Max.
those two guys aren't there, I mean, if we're talking that the last day of the season,
it should be Keegan Murray.
Yeah, like Keegan or Acuff should, if those guys are gone, Acuff should get enough shots in to at least be in the conversation of being the star
player. But he
player.
could be inefficient enough to be like, I don't like how much of it. If he's at, like Brendan said, 42%, I think it would be fair to be like, well, how much of it is just this guy shot a ton?
What if he's shooting horribly, but he averages like 6 assists? Kind of a lower bar, but like that's still good for like a first-year playmaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said 8?
6.
6. Yeah.
Wouldn't be overly impressed, but I mean that's honestly kind of what I'm expecting. I'm expecting probably 18 and 5 or 6 with
3.5 turnovers a game.
4% from the field.
That already puts you pretty high up on the best players on the Kings, in my opinion.
It does. No, it does.
I guess it depends on the shooting percentage, like you said.
I mean, yeah. I think, again, maybe it's even to the same answer as the first question. I think we hope it's Darius Acuff, but the answer probably is something else.
Someone in the chat here does say Keegan, just accounting for the defensive end of the floor as well.
Now that is a solid point.
Because
now you have my attention.
Well, and, okay, so this leads into the next question. Who is the best defender on the team?
Well, there are 3 defenders on the team.
There's not many options. There's candidates would be, Keegan Murray, Precious Achua.
Oh, okay.
Dylan Cardwell.
I would say Dylan
DeAndre
Cardwell,
Hunter.
I guess.
DeAndre Hunter.
I would say either Dylan or Keegan would be my answer.
I think Keegan is definitely the best defender on the team. I don't think that he's gotten the recognition he deserves nationally for how much he does for this team defensively.
He does a lot.
They'd score 30 more points a game against this team without Keegan on it for the past 2 years. It'd be horrible. He runs as much as Steph Curry does on defense. It's ridiculous.
His mileage was, I think, 4th in the NBA or something like that in terms of average miles ran on the defense.
And all of that is picking up missed assignments.
Yeah,
it's
he's just
ridiculous.
Around. Which is, again, if you want to tie it back in, you could say that's why he's bad on offense or been struggling from shooting.
I think Dylan Cardwell kind of deserves a shout for sure, but I would probably go Keegan. Just trying to think of other candidates too, like Daquan Plowden doesn't belong in this.
Yeah,
someone said Sharp, which we don't know yet.
Yeah, it's too early for that.
That works.
Also, maybe that's just more of a telling answer that we're potentially throwing a second-round guy that hasn't played a single NBA game.
It's very telling.
In the conversation.
He looked like
defender.
an NBA player, though.
No, 100%.
He looked great.
Undeniably. But, again, I think if we're saying that a guy that we haven't seen play a single minute is our best defender.
Yeah, second rounder. This isn't Caleb Wilson that we're talking about or anything like that.
No,
Would Keon Ellis be a candidate for best defender if he were still here? At least a candidate.
Oh, for sure.
At least a candidate.
Yeah.
But I don't think he would win it still.
I mean, he might.
He would definitely get some votes.
He would have to be in the conversation. I mean, there's not many people.
They're not better than Keegan. Keon is not a better defender than Keegan Murray.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would definitely agree.
I think the conversation is for second.
Yeah.
throughout the whole team.
I tend to think the same. Keegan, best defender. We had best player by the end of the season. We think probably Domas.
I would guess.
Who will lead the team in scoring? We said Zach LaVine. Who do you trust most to take the final shot? Trust being a little bit of an iffy word. We all want it to be Acuff, essentially. Trust may be a different conversation. I have a few other questions that we're going to get to on the other side, including outside of Darius Acuff, what players will still be on the Sacramento Kings in 3 seasons?
3?
Good luck figuring that one out. We're going to talk it through here on the other side. Brendan Nunez, Chris Watkins filling in for Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
This is Sactown, baby! Follow Sactown Sports 1140 on Facebook at facebook.com/Sactown Sports to keep tabs on the Kings, 49ers, UC Davis, and the entire Sactown Sports lineup all season long. Facebook.com/Sactown Sports. Your local sports leader, Sactown Sports 1140.
If there's one thing you can count on, it's 24/7 protection when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive. And if there's 2 things you can count on, it's your smoke detector battery dying at 3 a.m. Not 3 p.m. on a Saturday when you have nothing going on, but in the middle of the night when you're fast asleep.
Oh, come on!
Get 24/7 protection when you bundle home and auto with Progressive. Just one more thing you can count on. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
You ever notice how the other guys scream about massive discounts on their Dodge, Chrysler, or Jeep Ram vehicles? Then you get to the fine print and boom, another $5,200 in mandatory ads. At Hoblet, we don't insult your intelligence. The price you see is the price you pay. No mystery add-ons, no bait and switch, no gotcha when you sit down to buy. Hoblet, family owned for 77 years. Transparency, straightforward pricing. Buy it right, buy it at Hoblet.
Every 16 seconds, an American receives a cancer diagnosis, and every minute of every day, another person loses their life to cancer. That's why Stand Up to Cancer has set a bold goal to make early-stage detection an essential part of standard of care for all cancers. So often, if cancer is detected early, the chance of long-term survival is 90%. So if we all support cancer research, more than 2 million lives can be saved in the next decade. So join the mission and help save lives today at standuptocancer.org.
I'm U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. We all seem to be in a rush these days, from work to driving our kids around. But when you're behind the wheel, please do not speed. A few minutes saved by going faster is never worth the risk. So follow the speed limit, enjoy the drive, maybe bring some snacks for the kids, and know that along the way, you're getting quality time with your family.
Paid for by NHTSA.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave.
What's up? It's Matt George.
What's good? It's Alan Stiles.
With the most trusted voices in the community.
This is Jason Ross.
Hey, it's Kayla Anderson.
It's Whitey Gleason.
Ready to help promote your business, both as partners and customers. All you have to do is ask. Pick up the phone, dial pound 250 and say, grow my business to get connected with a team member today. That's pound 250 and say, grow my business. Our team will review your product, quickly pair you with a perfect endorser, and create video and audio samples styles, all at no cost or obligation to you. With the most live and local on-air lineup, a dynamic content-driven website, and a state-of-the-art mobile app, Sactown Sports 1140 is tailor-made to help you connect with a sports audience in Sacramento. So why wait? Dial pound 250 today. Say, grow my business, and let us help take you to the next level. In celebration of 80 years of 49ers football, Sactown Sports is counting down 80 of the most memorable moments that have shaped the team's storied legacy and winning tradition. Here's today's faithful flashback.
Number 31, Greenlaw's goal line stand.
The rivalry between San Francisco and Seattle has developed more in recent memory, and mainly because of plays like this.
Fourth down. Here's your game. Here's Russell Wilson back. Wilson throws, caught. Hollister's hit on the goal line and dropped by Dre Greenlaw. He is short. The 49ers have stopped Hollister on the goal line. The 49ers are going to win the game.
In a defining moment of his rookie season, Dre Greenlaw sealed the 49ers' 26-21 win over the Seahawks in Week 17 of 2019. The stop secured the NFC West title and the conference's #1 seed for the 49ers.
Faithful flashbacks on Sactown Sports 1140. It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
Brendan Nunez and Chris Watkins here filling in for Matt and Kayla on the afternoon show. Got it right that time.
No, you didn't.
No,
you got it wrong again.
You got it wrong.
Midday.
Midday show.
Dang it. I literally thought I got it,
So
too.
confident.
Isn't even a
Loud and
difficult
wrong.
thing. Isn't even a difficult thing.
Well, you had a 50-50
Midday
chance.
show. Apparently, I had I had zero chance.
Looked at the time, decided it was the afternoon, did
I
the
keep
same
doing
thing
it.
again.
I keep doing it. The afternoon show will actually be here at 2 o'clock. That is when us, the midday show, are taking you up until. And I'm curious, we just did some interesting questions about the Sacramento Kings roster next season. Who would you have taken the last shot? Who's the best defender on the team? That was not a fun exercise. And I think another curious one that I came up with for you guys is who will still be on the Sacramento Kings in 3 seasons? If we count this coming year, 2 years from now, right? 2028-29 season. The players under contract are Keegan Murray, Darius Acuff, obviously, Nick Clifford, Alex Caravan, Dylan Cardwell, and Emmanuel Sharp. Is there anyone else, or even of those guys? Do we all agree Acuff will be here in 3 years?
Yeah.
Yes.
Outside of that, who are you next most confident in being here in 3 years?
I don't think anyone who's not going to be under contract is going to be here. Everyone outside of who you listed, I don't think has a chance.
Even the ones I listed might not be.
I'm trying to think if even...
Is Keegan going to be here in 3 years?
I think Keegan has too big of a contract to be moved on from before his contract is up.
Making $24 million next year, 26 the year after, 28 in the year that we're talking about, then 29, and then 31.
That could be chump change, though.
It
In a
could
couple
be.
years, people might be making $90 million.
Or he's the chump if he's not playing well.
I mean, yeah.
There's a world where that looks like a big
To
overpay.
Anthony's point, yeah, he could be just stuck on the Kings.
Right.
I think right now Keegan is still. Well, I don't know if with him starting this contract, he's probably not really an asset anymore. You could. Really
I wouldn't think so.
Not saying you couldn't get things for Keegan. I'm not saying if Keegan wasn't on the market, but I think in terms of the general, hey, there's superstar X out there. I don't necessarily think you can just say, oh, okay, well, Keegan really only is making sense because of his contract, not necessarily because he's a young player who has, years of control or anything like that.
There is interest around the league in Keegan. Like Scott Perry has mentioned that people are calling about Keegan. So it's not like people don't want him. It's not like he's a disgraced asset or something. It's just what they're offering what the Kings want. I have no idea if there's a disconnect there. And in 3 years, I think you might as well just hold on to him and see where he fits. If you If you plan accordingly in this build, you have someone who could help a winning team, and if you are trying to be a winning team, I don't see a world where you get rid of a Keegan Murray while he's still under contract.
The key word being there, if you're trying to be a winning team. Like, I don't know if they are going to be, even if they want to be. I don't know how long it'll take. Ideally, in 3 years, you're back, like, flirting with the play-in conversation, right?
I would hope so. I would hope I would hope that you're a little past flirting. But.
And there should be more answers of who will be here long-term based on who else you draft, right? This is going to take a lot of good drafting in the coming seasons as well, and very TBD on where they'll be picking, especially with the new lottery odds. But if we just went down the line a little bit, like Zach LaVine, not here in 3 years.
No chance.
Probably not through this season. Maybe through this season, but probably not. Domantas Sabonis has contract for next year.
I would almost guarantee.
No way.
I mean, they're not going to re-up. Yeah, no.
Do you think there's any world where they re-up with Zach? Somebody I saw mentioning that the other day.
No, why?
I would agree.
It would just, I mean, unless this season.
What if it was like a 3-year 30 after this year or something?
No. Well, so he makes 10 a year. I just don't know why it would be here.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
The only way that he could stay here is if he has a complete 180 on like just more from like a Zach LaVine brand standpoint. Like it would have to be wow, this situation just worked. It just made sense. Like Zach is averaging 26.
Loves him.
City loves him. Maybe the Kings are a play-in contender, and like that's the only way in which I could see that even being remotely thought of.
He'd have to somehow be like an all-star contender this year.
Yeah. And it's it might sound crazy initially, but like He's been in that conversation in the past, and some would say that the East is better than the West nowadays, and so maybe the All-Star selections will show that. But yeah, in general, I think we can say that Sabonis and LaVine almost guaranteed to not be in the Kings' future plans.
For LaVine's sake, I hope that he could go to a winning team. He's never been on one in his entire career.
Which might say something.
Maybe, but at the same time, maybe a different role. He's never been in any role other than like you need to be the primary scorer. You have no one else in front of you. Just like go and do this right now. Go score, and you have no help.
I'm fascinated by like what situation he determines is like a good situation for him. Like if he does hit free agency this coming season, where does Zach LaVine see himself? Does he see himself as, like Anthony said, I haven't been on a winning team. I've made a ton of money. Like, I'm still going to make my $10, $15 million a year, but I'm not going to prioritize cash. I'm going to prioritize trying to reverse what everyone thinks of me, my narrative around my career. Or is Zach just going to say, like, hey, I want to be on a team where I can score 26, and I believe that I'm still good enough to, score 26 and be on a winning team?
Like, in my view, he's, like, the best version of, like, a Michael Porter Jr. kind of Cam Johnson. Like, I mean, Cam Johnson plays defense. Yeah. Different kind of thing. But, like, a third option scorer who can actually really score if he accepts that. I don't know him personally. I don't know what he wants, but I think that he could be really good in one of those situations if he wants that in a year, I guess.
A completely random shout for me is like I could see him trying to go to Houston like when KD leaves and being like, this is a team that has a ton of stuff and I can still be me and have everything relatively make sense. Kind of like what we're talking about with DeMar, where it's like
I think he's very
a different
similar to
level,
DeMar.
Absolutely, but it's just like, where can I go to where I can still be me and I don't have to necessarily fit around other guys? Like I definitely serve a clear role, and that role is going to be actually looked as a positive instead of, I'm just gunning like crazy.
It would not surprise me if he ended up on – I like Miami actually a lot for him.
Sure, yeah.
And it wouldn't surprise me if he ended up on literally any of the other California teams. Like the Warriors. He feels very Warriors.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's a great fit for them.
It feels Warriors. We struck out on
something.
Everybody, and
or the Clippers. He's their current Bradley Beal, right?
Got
where
the
they
LA
went and picked
tie.
up Bradley Beal. Lakers is more of a weirder one for sure. Next guy, like DeAndre Hunter, expiring contract this year. I guess this question is more so of, it is mentioned number 2, of do you think that they could retain DeAndre Hunter beyond this season? He's 29 years old.
This is like such an impossible, I don't know how they traded for him.
Right, he played 2 games.
How much of it was he was the best asset that they can get for Keon Ellis? How much of it was, no, we actually see that we can move forward. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if DeAndre Hunter is traded at the trade deadline this year. How much of it is just, hey, we kicked the can down on Keon Ellis' value, and we actually just know that, DeAndre Hunter can get traded to any team because any team is looking for a 6'8", versatile wing who can kind of play a role offensively and hopefully be gritty defense. Like, to me, it just, he could be on the Kings for sure, but I think he's probably gone by the end of the year.
Yeah, hard to gauge. Point being, really hard to figure out who's actually going to be on the Kings in 3 years.
Probably somebody who's not on the team
young
at this
players,
point, right? Like if you're going to say who's going to be the best player on the Kings, it's obvious in 3 years it's either Darius
Junior in high
Acuff
school.
or it's somebody who's not even in the NBA yet.
Maybe not even in college yet.
It could be.
It's going to be a very different team in even next year.
I know a lot of people say the next couple drafts aren't good either, but yeah, definitely could still happen.
They say that, and Jaylen Brown comes out of a draft, or Brandon Ingram.
That's right.
So we will see.
Or
Giannis. Fingers crossed. Next up here, want to ask, is the current parity in the NBA good for the league overall? 8 different champions over the last 8 seasons. Is that a good thing for the league, or was it better when we had some dynasties winning a few in a row? Brendan Nunez, Chris Watkins filling in here on the Matt and Kayla Show, Sactown Sports.
This is Sactown, baby! Follow Sactown Sports 1140 on Facebook at facebook.com/Sactown Sports to keep tabs on the Kings, 49ers, UC Davis, and the entire Sactown Sports lineup all season long. Facebook.com/Sactown Sports. Your local sports leader, Sactown Sports 1140.
So, I need hamburgers, sodas, ice, and a DJ.
A DJ?
Relax, Pa. With T-Mobile, we're saving when we bundle home internet and phone lines.
Oh, wow. Here to bundle and save big. Stay connected con tu gente with 4 lines from T-Mobile with fast, easy-to-set-up 5G home internet and save up to $1,000 a year. Switch now on T-Mobile.com/conectate. Savings based on third line free via monthly bill credits. Internet discount with $15 in monthly bill credits and auto pay discount. Qualifying credit required. Credits will stop if you cancel any lines or change plans. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown 411 16th Street and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. And there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Progressive knows you've got plenty of things to worry about.
What time does the kids' practice end? How long has that check engine light been on? Are takeout containers microwave safe?
So the last thing you should have to worry about is what to do if something unexpected happens on the road. That's why if you're ever in a major accident, Progressive's accident response can detect it and send help. It's just one less thing to worry about.
How long does chicken last in the fridge?
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
California's calling. Sun-soaked coasts, forest trails, and fun-filled city nights. With 21 hybrid and electrified Toyota models, there's a ride made for your life. Score summer deals on the 50 MPG Corolla Hybrid and the 51 MPG Camry. Or get 0% APR plus finance cash on the all-electric BZ. Go farther and spend less this summer with Toyota's hybrids, plug-in hybrids, and all-electric EVs. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit and cannot be combined with other offers. Ends 8/3/26.
10 a.m. to 2 p.m., Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome back into the midday show. Brendan Nunez and Chris Watkins filling in for Matt and Kayla. Only took me 3 attempts to realize the difference between midday and afternoon.
It's fine. It's fine.
We got there eventually. And what I wanted to go into for this one is some curiosity about if we think the current parity in the NBA is good for the league or not. Over the last 8 seasons, there has been a new champion. There's been starting in 2019, the Toronto Raptors, Los Angeles Lakers, Milwaukee Bucks, Golden State Warriors, Denver Nuggets, Boston Celtics, Oklahoma City Thunder, and then most recently, the New York Knicks winning the championship. Again, 8 different teams over the last 8 seasons. Anthony may feel differently, but I wouldn't surprise me if there's another new champion next season. Is that a good thing for the league? Or, prior to that, obviously, was Golden State going back-to-back and their dynasty where it's quite literally the polar opposite. It was Cleveland and Golden State in the championship, what felt like 6 years in a row.
Yes.
It was probably a little less, but it felt inevitable that we were going to reach that every single time, and it pretty much played out that way. I would kind of argue that having those favorites, it at least added a different dynamic, right? When you had the 73-9 Warriors, like back when I was a Celtics fan, I was kind of hyped to play that team, mainly because I felt like the Celtics actually had a chance. And I would just be like, man, it would feel so good to beat these guys. And it added another layer of, they were the villains, right? Them and the Cavaliers in the East and LeBronto and all of that. Like, I'm sure Toronto got sick of playing LeBron, but I'd imagine their fan base was like, this is the year we finally take them down. Yeah. And so I'm curious, do you think that the amount of parity there is right now is a good thing for the league and different fan bases overall?
I actually think it's a bad thing. I think, I hate to give the answer on both sides, but I think from a more casual perspective, I think it's a bad thing. I think people, no matter what they say, they like to know the big bads. They like to have the Warriors and the Cavs and have the big names, have LeBron, have Steph, have Michael Jordan, have all the big names in the finals. And at the end of the day, like, that's what people want to see. It's the biggest spectacle. And frankly, the league was built on dynasties. And that's the one thing that I am most interested to see with this new era is, I think, part of the NBA story, quite literally from the inception of Bill Russell and all that championship run, here is by chunk 11 years of Celtics dominance, and then here's a little bit of Lakers Celtics back and forth, and then it's the Bulls era, and then it's some of the Spurs and a little Lakers, and then it's just the fact that you were able to really craft a narrative around the league based off of these massive figures of Larry and Magic and Michael and Wilt and Bill and of course LeBron and Steph of the modern era. I just think we're seeing the downfall of it from a narrative perspective, and I think you see a lot of people being tired of seeing OKC and Indiana. I think just factually, everyone would much rather see a New York Knicks take on a Lakers or a Warriors or a Miami Heat, whatever it is. It's we're all human, and I think it's just human nature to kind of see the big names, and it just it almost makes it more justifiable when it has whether it be big team name or big player name. Those championships just mean more, whether or not the title actually plays out to feel like it means more. It doesn't really matter, because the stage is truly what matters, is setting up a Super Bowl-like event for the NBA Finals. And when you have OKC and Indiana, you've got to sell people on the basketball side of it. And frankly, in today's era, not a lot of people care about the basketball side of it. It's all about the drama. It's about the names. It's about getting people to tune into the game in the first place. I think Wemby's a big enough spectacle to do that, but I think the NBA is potentially going to struggle if Wemby isn't in the finals every year to get the casual viewer to say, well, why should I tune in this year? Because I honestly haven't been paying attention. I don't know what the storylines are going into this.
Right.
I need to be told them as the series is happening, whereas obviously you can tell the story of the entire season leading up to it when you have teams that you kind of already know are going to be there.
I disagree so much.
And that's what I was going to say too, is I think a lot of the actual NBA fans, everyone wants to have a chance. And so as a Kings fan, you should absolutely love this current system because you never had again, there was like 6 teams that even won the championship. Now the past 6 years, there's been 6 different champions. 8 years,
yeah.
There's been 8 different champions.
Since Toronto.
Yeah.
I think that it's definitely an adjustment period. I think that super casual fans like when there's 2 teams and you're just like, how are they doing when you're tuning in on ABC or something? But I think that smaller rivalries in the playoffs and regular season games also helps the NBA. I think that Nuggets Timberwolves is must-see television to me. Like, that's something that you can sell people on. I think that they have 2 amazing basketball players on each of those teams, and they have Jokic doesn't really have a big personality, but it still like plays into the drama, the fact that he wants to go home every year. If you follow it a little bit, there's stuff that's like still there, and there's the old guard. Like, you can watch the Warriors play, I guess, Philadelphia now because it's LeBron. There's enough there where you can have exciting games, and they're just not always in the NBA Finals. I like that the second round of the NBA playoffs isn't just me waiting for the Warriors to play the Cavs. The Warriors ruined my childhood. It's my whole thing. Like, that, I don't want to see that anymore. I like that. I think a 6 seed can go and win the NBA Finals now. That's insane. Like, they can just kick it into another gear and be way better than whoever was really good in the regular season. And I think that you can sell it if you just work a little bit harder. I think that's the NBA's fault if they can't sell that. They need to figure out how to be able to sell more teams to their local markets, then they'll watch national games.
Well, that's where I think the NBA in the past they've let the games sell itself. That's where, again, the NBA hasn't had to do the work because people just tune in to watch Larry and Magic, and they create their own narratives and have their own fun with it. And then it just feels like every year when you're telling people you have to get caught up with the characters in the show, you're just going to lose people. And to me, this year, of course, with Wemby and the Knicks, like, there was definitely going to be a big winner that came out of it that was going to cross culture and everything. Again, maybe it's just recency bias, but I just keep going back to that Pacers OKC final. And if you have more of those versions of things, I just don't know how many people. If you have 3 of those finals in a row, I think you lose a lot of people. I think if you have 1 year, that kind of boring thing, and then you can get a Wemby Knicks the next. That's great, but I don't know how much people are going to care about small markets winning at the end of the day. And if it's really best 5 over best, 1 star, I feel like a lot of people are, they just haven't been conditioned to think that way about basketball.
That Halliburton run was crazy, though. And if they just learned how to market that better, the amount of time, that was a miracle team. In the same way that the Knicks were a miracle team this year, just like doing impossible stuff.
Yeah.
The difference is just the name. I mean, like, I don't know how much people actually put stake other than like the media. I think that a lot of people want to talk about like whoever has the biggest fan base. But people who just like watching sports, I think that they don't care if it says Indiana or New York or Sacramento on their chest.
I think my argument is more just less people care about sports, like the actual sport itself. It's more, I think more people follow sports now, but don't actually watch them. And I think when you follow the sport instead of watching it, like, it's just, I don't know. In my opinion, it's going to lead to less actual care. Like, it just doesn't feel like people actually have vetted interest in the players. They just want to follow the storylines, if that makes sense.
If you're having a basic grocery store conversation, it's a lot easier to talk about like the current dynasty than like, hey, did you see the run that Tyrese just had?
Yeah, exactly.
For example. Like, I think that it's cool to see different teams winning throughout this stretch, obviously. I think it's beneficial for if you are a diehard fan of whatever random team, it is probably more beneficial for you because you actually feel like you have a chance, right? But there's some benefit, and I think something missing by there not being like a dynasty, or at least like a clear who is the team to beat, right? In reality, it's been OKC the last few years. I also don't think they've been marketed very well.
No, terribly.
Like SGA is a superstar, and is it just me? Like maybe it's just me, but it doesn't quite feel like it sometimes.
No, he doesn't have the respect of a superstar.
No, he's not talked about the way of what we're talking about
with
with obviously like Magic and Jordan and
I mean even Steph at his
even
time,
Steph.
right?
Like and these are obviously ridiculous
Kobe,
tier players, but SGA,
those are the ones that
he has
win.
2 MVPs
Right.
now.
Right.
Like it doesn't feel like this guy has 2 MVPs. It feels like Wemby, because he is such a freak, and I mean that in the best way possible. He's like the closest thing that we're getting right now. Of there probably will be, assuming they can remain competitive, which I think is probably a fair assumption, and roster build correct around him, second aprons, blah, 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 whatever, that like he's going to be the closest thing to like the upcoming dynasty and the next guy.
For
that
me, it's
everybody
a lot
is
about,
trying to beat.
like crossing culture too. Like I think Wemby is your grandma will say like, what about this Victor Wembanyama guy?
Right.
Like that guy's crazy. Your grandma is never going to bring up Tyrese Halliburton. She's never going to bring up SGA. She's never gonna. She might bring up Jokic because like he's a funny looking guy who's pudgy and passing the ball.
Saw him on
like,
Facebook.
Yeah, like I just that's more what I mean is I just don't know. Like again, the NBA fans are always going to love NBA, and basketball fans and sport whatever, they're always going to tune in, but NBA is trying to, especially with parity, like they're trying to reach the NFL level. And so if you want to reach the NFL level, then you have to have every year, it doesn't matter if it's the Patriots against the Green Bay Packers, like I'm going to care about that Super Bowl. I'm sorry, like I love the NBA, and I found it hard to try and convince people to care about Indiana and OKC. That's more what I'm saying.
Right. Part of the reason the World Cup, I think, reached so many people that didn't care about soccer is because of Messi.
Yes, absolutely.
And
it was in America
goes a long
too.
way.
Again, like it crosses over. There has to be some reason for casual people to tune in. I think Victor Wembanyama and the New York Knicks were much a big reason to tune in this year. But what is going to be the reason next year if OKC, which I think is a much better team this year or this coming season than they were last year with the injuries, if it's OKC in the finals against the Knicks, or I guess the Sixers would probably be a pretty good draw, but we'll say if it's them against the Celtics.
I mean,
I don't
even
know.
Boston,
I don't know.
100%. Well, we looked at recently who we think on the current Kings will be here in 3 years. Let's go back a couple years to that Beam team that probably enjoyed there being a little bit of parity in the league. Where is everyone from that roster now? Spoiler, they're kind of all over the place. Brendan Nunes, Chris Watkins filling in for Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Carmichael Dave here, so proud to talk about my new friends at Pest Pros, where they are family-owned, they are locally rooted, and they are committed to serving Northern California. I got a mouse problem at my house, and I don't like mice. I got a cockroach problem at my house, and I don't like cockroaches. That's a real thing. You're going to get pest protection somewhere. Why not get it at a place that is locally owned and operated? Longtime Kings fans and partners, and the community, you've spoken. They're back-to-back Sacramento favorites. So if you got pest control, you don't have Pest Pros. Step up to the pros with their all-star lineup. Don't just make the call, make the right call. Go to pestprosps.com, Sacramento grown, family owned, or call them at 916-588-9345. That's 916-588-9345. Step up to the pros at Pest Pros.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sepp Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sepp Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sepp's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Country in the Park 2, presented by your California Army National Guard, October 23rd at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Russell Dickerson. Plus more. Enjoy line dancing, live DJs, mechanical bull, and food trucks. Tickets start at just $70. Country in the Park 2, October 23rd at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo.
Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. More info at CITPFest.com.
The one and only Monster Jam. Big air, backflips, and all-out racing. See the world's best drivers tear up the dirt in your favorite Monster Jam trucks. The fun begins at the pit party, where you can meet the drivers, get autographs, take pictures, and see the trucks up close. Get your pit party pass at monsterjam.com today. Must have valid event ticket to enter pit party. Restrictions may apply. Rules and activities are subject to change. Visit website for event details. Coming to Golden One Center August 15th and 16th.
Chevy is the heartbeat of America, and there's a big upside to buying and driving a new Chevy Silverado half-ton truck. There's the lifetime warranty, not to mention the selection, from a two-wheel drive to a four-wheel drive, the LT, RST, High Country, you name it. There's an even bigger upside to buying a new Silverado at Folsom Chevy. General Manager Eric Wilson and his team are offering 0% financing for 5 years and no payments for 90 days during the entire month of July. On all new Silverado half-ton trucks in stock, an incredible deal. Folsom Chevy is truck country. You can find them off Highway 50 at the Folsom Auto Mall between the Hazel and Folsom exits. Find out more at folsomchevy.com. From the mountains to the levee, think Folsom Chevy. Together, let's drive. Must finance with GM on approved credit. $16.67 per 1,000 financed. Cannot be combined with other offers. Ends July 31st, 2026.
KHD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports 1140, your local sports leader. It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
No Matt and Kayla today. Brendan Nunez, Chris Watkins, and Anthony behind the glass here filling in. Anthony's a regular. Chris and I filling in more so. Our conversation from last segment about is the parity good for the league carried over a little bit into the break there. I would say that made it a decent topic. And we were arguing a little bit before I get into where is the Beam team now, just about, I'm curious, the YouTube chat text lines perspective, 916-339-1140, about like just how enjoyable, at least I would say enjoyable, that the postseason runs were when it was Cavs and Warriors every single year. And every single year for 3-4 years, whatever we said that it was. I think the finals were electric to watch. Like, that really did it for me. The 3-1 comeback that LeBron had, that's probably the biggest legacy builder moment of his career.
But all those games were blowouts until the last one.
Which ones are we talking about?
The final series?
The 3-1 in 2016. All those games were blowouts other than the last game.
But going into the games, they still had weight.
And even in between the games, right? Like the conversation that happens after every blowout, I guess. I get what you're saying. You do forget that they were blowout games, similarly to how you forget that Draymond probably would have won Finals MVP with a triple-double in Game 7 of that game.
Oh, I don't forget that.
But yeah, never forget. Never forget. But I think there were some other series leading up to it, like the Houston. I really admire the teams. It probably holds more weight for the teams that actually felt like they had a chance against some of those. The Houston Rockets, right? Like Sacramento Kings at the time, like that probably felt horrible. I mean, they were also in a position to compete at all.
Yeah, exactly.
But say like Portland Trailblazers when they had Dame and like we're hoping they had a chance. at that point you just know that it's not true.
Well, I think I would push back and say the fun of having those, especially the Warriors being, we could call them a perfect team, it breeds competition. Like, it breeds the best to bring out the best in others. And I think it made it so, hey, we can't beat the Warriors on paper, so how do we get creative to try and get as close as possible? Because at the end of the day, we still have to play if you're the Houston Rockets. And so what did the Rockets do? They mathed it out. They just said, hey, we can't win the game on the floor. Let's try and win the game with the numbers. And there's different versions of that too. Like, the Cleveland, on the other side of the bracket, the Atlanta Hawks, they early tried to say, you have your one LeBron James. We're going to try and build a good five. Remember the Atlanta Hawks starting five was named the All-Star starters, or they were named Player of the Month or whatever it was.
No,
the
five
whole
starters.
So, the Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan teams, which eventually led to directly a Kawhi Leonard championship with the Raptors. Like, I just think that, yes, it wasn't, especially when, in hindsight being 2020, the results were what we all thought it was going to be, but there was still questions of, well, we can't just all give up and lay down. How are we going to try and get creative to maybe beat these guys? Even if it is, if you're like Brendan said earlier, hey, I'm just using them as a litmus test to see if I have a young upstart team and we fight with the Golden State Warriors and have an overtime loss or, God forbid, a win, we feel really good about where we're moving. And so I think it's just good to have a big bad out there that can kind of raise everyone else's competition and or just make a very clear line of there are haves and have-nots in this league. You are either going to contest with the Warriors or there's no point and you might as well try and build for the future.
I still held a lot of pride. Again, as a Celtics fan then, I remember the Warriors start their season winning 20 whatever games, and that Isaiah Thomas Celtics team almost beat them, took them to overtime. And I was so hyped for that game going into it thinking like, dude, we're going to be the one that ends the streak. This is going to be crazy. They didn't beat them. It goes into overtime. In their first loss of that season, they played a back-to-back and lost to the Bucks the next night. And I was just like, that's the Celtics win. Yeah. Like, we did that. Yeah. And that, like, to me, that's a prime example of like, that game meant so much to me.
I'll tell you
at that time.
Yeah, the Kings, I remember they played the big three, the Heatles, the Miami Heat Heatles, and at that time it was Isaiah Thomas, it was Marcus Thornton, DeMarcus Cousins, I want to say maybe Tyreek Evans, and the Kings took that big three Heatles. I don't know if you've ever seen the play of Ben McLemore getting absolutely yammed on from LeBron, like LeBron's knee is in his face. It's from that, I think it might have even been a double overtime game. But that Kings team, which has nothing good to remember about, I remember that team took that Heat team to overtime. And after, there was a quote from LeBron James saying, they got some good young players over there. He name dropped Isaiah Thomas, DeMarcus, and it was the first person I've ever heard, a very LeBron thing. He called Marcus Thornton Lil Buckets.
Oh, yeah.
No one had ever, Marcus Thornton was like a random second rounder who kind of popped off for the Kings for a year and a half. And LeBron apparently made up a name on the spot that he was Lil Buckets. And then after that, that was like that. I'm saying all of that to say, like, that was a very big moment for that team. And it doesn't happen unless there's some sort of barometer of, wow, we actually have the capabilities to play at that level with these guys that we have now. Maybe there's something to holding on to this core, because if they can compete at that level, well, we can kind of bottle that and use that as fuel for the future.
Yeah, to your point, there was Steph Curry called Frank Ntilikina a really good basketball player after they played the Knicks, and I remember that vividly in my head. I know,
Frankie Smokes.
But like, to your point, it is just it's important when they play those teams. It's exciting to watch them, especially if you only watch your local team. Yeah, I get it. I just like this more.
What was that, like Carmelo Anthony, Amare Stoudemire, Knicks?
No, this was like after Melo was traded. It was post Porzingis too.
Post-Porzingis.
Yeah, so post Porzingis was like
Steph was just yapping then.
Yeah, so Frank Ntilikina got drafted. So it was like Marcus Morris got us a first round pick at one point, but he was just playing ISO ball.
Remember that? He got paid $25 million for 1 year.
Yep.
What?
Yeah, so it was a rough time, and Steph was like, Frank Ntilikina is pretty good. Out of the league in like 5 years after that, but.
So, but when Melo and Amare were on their run, who is on their run is
I was
kind.
Where's that?
They were playing together. That was while the Heat were good.
Yeah, it was 2012 was when that was. They were built to beat the Heat, and then they couldn't get past the Pacers.
That's right.
Classic. It's a classic
And then
mistake.
immediately went downhill after that.
That checks out. Well, I think the most recent Kings team that would appreciate the current parity in the league would be that Beam team year of 2022-23, where, some people will be, well, hey, if they got out of the first round against the Warriors, lost in Game 7, Steph infamously drops 50 points. I will always remember it as the Kevon Looney game because the offensive rebounds just took the life out of that building. People are like, hey, maybe they could have beat the Lakers. And then I think the Lakers played the Nuggets in the next round, and the Nuggets go on to win the whole thing. People, I guess, will hold some hypotheticals about how far could the Kings have gone. I would say not a championship, obviously. But where is this team now? Of all the players on the roster, where have they made their way by this point, and how many of them are still around?
That's what I was going to ask. How many are even still in the league? I mean, I would guess a good portion.
Take your guess at how many are still, first of all, we'll go still in the league and still on the Kings.
Are we counting Trey Lyles? Who is now back in the league, but was out of the league last year.
You just going straight to Trey Lyles. You think of the Beam team, you think of Trey Lyles.
That's where my mind goes. I don't know about you guys.
What was it, Trey Bay?
Trey Bays, come on.
9 in the league?
Yeah, I'm going to go 9.
Okay.
I'll say, that sounds about right. I mean, there should be we're talking, 3 years ago?
And for what it's worth, I did every player that played that season.
Yeah,
including
I'll say 10.
Okay. Because I have P.J. Dozier, Deontay Burton on this list. Not that those guys are still in the league. But we went deep.
We did the
whole
roster.
I'll say 10.
Okay. We're going 9 and 10. Anthony,
Alex
if you
Len
can, keep track for me on who is still in the tally here. Going player by player, De'Aaron Fox, I think everybody knows this. He spent a season and a half more and then got traded to the Spurs. Still in the league. Kevin Huerter was traded to Chicago in that 3-team Zach LaVine deal. Might forget that he was part of the Zach LaVine trade. And then since his member of the Detroit Pistons, still in the league.
Yep.
Harrison Barnes was also traded to the Spurs in a DeMar DeRozan sign-in trade. Might forget that he was the one that was traded there. I believe he did just re-sign with the San Antonio Spurs, but still in the league. Keegan Murray, self-explanatory, still on the Kings. Domantas Sabonis, still with the Sacramento Kings. That's a starting lineup. Not surprising they're still in the league, right? After that, you get to Davion Mitchell, who was traded with Sasha Vezenkov, by the way, to the Toronto Raptors for Jalen McDaniels. Not Jaden. Jalen. I do not believe Jalen is still in the league for what it's worth, but Davion's still in the league, playing with the Miami Heat now. Malik Monk, still in the league. So we're 7 for 7 so far. We're also going top of the roster down. Keon Ellis, traded to the... Oh, my gosh.
Cleveland Cavaliers.
Thank you. Cleveland Cavaliers.
How much did Keon
play
here. That playoff series? I don't even remember.
Hardly
did
at
he even,
all.
I wonder if he even got non-garbage time minutes. Did he play? Because, obviously, Davion, we all know, was pulled in that series.
In the Kings series.
In that Kings playoff series. Yeah, in the Kings-Warrior series. If I had to guess, I don't think he played... He maybe played one game of 5 minutes, but that's just me. I don't specifically remember those.
I don't know that he hardly played, if at all, in that one, because you know who did play was next up, Terrence Davis.
That's right.
Terrence Davis was actually the adjustment that they made in Game 6 that allowed them to win that game pretty handily.
Keon did not play at all in that.
That sounds about right. I think that's also Keon's first year. 22, 23?
23 was. Yep.
So
he
this
played
makes
16
sense.
total games.
Terrence Davis, since that year.
So he's out of the league.
Played for the Rip City Remix, where he then tore his Achilles.
Mm-hmm.
He had a brief stint with Milwaukee.
Came back here, didn't he?
I was going to say, did you remember this? I forgot about that until I looked it up today.
Did he play actual games?
He played 2 games, I believe it was. He signed a 10-day contract with the Kings at the end of 2024-25, so not last season, the year prior. Did go to training camp with the Kings that next year, but didn't make it. He is now in Puerto Rico.
He's the ultimate sign of this league is so stupid talented. Because he scored multiple 30-point games for the Kings.
Do you remember the people were throwing out the TNT TD because they played against 45. The Brooklyn Nets? I remember it was, and he had 45. It was also James Harden's last game as a member of the Brooklyn Nets, and everybody was like, Davion locked him up.
That game was insane.
That was quite a game.
Because that was Beam Team season. That was their first national TV game of, okay, this is there's real hype around the Kings.
Yeah.
Here is a national stage against Kevin Durant.
A crazy Brooklyn team.
Yeah, KD didn't play that day. But here was an opportunity, and they both like from Jump Street. I want to say they scored 40 in the first half. Like that game was
a
over
blowout.
immediately.
Yeah. Hey, look at that. We remember a team against game against a super team, huh?
Yeah, super team. They accomplished a lot.
Technically. Trey Lyles, your boy.
Yeah.
The Trey Babes.
Trigger.
He spent 2 more years with the Kings, then was with Real Madrid last year.
Yeah.
Anybody unaware, he just signed with the Timberwolves
That's right.
this offseason. Back in the league. Everybody in the league still, aside from Terrence Davis. Yeah. Again, we're starting with the top of the roster. Alex Len, remember on that team.
Yeah, he's
remember
awesome.
Alex Len started a few games?
He did. Yeah.
That was something.
Yeah, those would be like Jokic starts, right?
That's
like,
right.
When they would go against Denver, if I'm not mistaken, they started Alex Len a couple times.
And it worked pretty well.
Yeah, pretty polarizing figure, Alex Len. I don't know if you remember. I think it might have been the Beam Team season, if not the season after. He had like the highest plus minus in the NBA.
There was
or it
something like that.
I think it was his defensive plus minus or something. It was like the highest in the NBA.
Yeah, it wasn't
defensive
doing much
rating or
offensively.
something. There was something where it was like Alex Len is top 3 in the NBA in some category that the Kings desperately needed.
It seemed like he was like the Jokic stopper for a very brief moment, which is an insane thing to say out loud. This is a good question. This is a good question. Nobody actually called him the Jokic stopper. It was literally he had 2 good games against Jokic, and the Kings had nobody else tall on their roster.
Yeah.
You also, I don't know about you guys, but I tend to forget that Alex Len was the 4th overall pick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
big time.
That was insanity.
Yeah, Phoenix.
He started shooting threes at one point in his career, right before he got to the Kings. After that, he was with the Kings through 2025 and then was traded to Washington, got waived, and then he signed with the Lakers for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, I
and you remember when everybody was like hyping it up?
Yeah,
big,
that was
like,
crazy.
Dude, like the Lakers need another big man. Like they got a former
League's
lottery
cheating.
pick. Apparently, he also was with Trey Lyles in Real Madrid. He was. And they since have mutually parted ways.
Really? So
apparently.
he's not got a home right now.
As of what I was able to find, Alex
Interesting.
Len currently not on a basketball team.
Wow, I don't think I would have guessed that.
If you remember Deontay Burton, who we were talking before the show, big body. He was a strong-looking guy for sure. Most recently played in China. Now TBD. Also unsure of where Deontay Burton's future may lie. Remember that Matthew Dellavedova was on that team?
No, I am now, of course.
They called him the Human Victory Beam.
That's what I call.
That's right. It was you.
Human White Flame. Yeah, it was something like that.
The Human Beam or something like that.
Oh, the Human Beam. That was not me, but yes, that was it. Actually, no, that was great. That was a fantastic nickname.
The thing I remember most is Duren saying after that series with Steph, he's like, "You ever seen that clip of Dellavedova or it was somebody else, Shumpert, Dellavedova, or it was whatever, Shumpert, JR saying that like Delly needed like crazy ice baths, IVs after running around Steph. Duren's like, that's real.
Yeah,
that's real. After chasing around Steph for a sec, Dellavedova, Australian, did go back to Australia after that stint with the Kings.
NBL.
The NBL, he played for Melbourne United.
Nice.
And last season, he played for Melbourne United for a few years. Last season, he signed a 3-year deal with the Sydney Kings.
Whoa.
He is still on. He's on the second of a 3rd-year deal. Matthew Dellavedova. I'm sure they gotta love him.
I was gonna say he's got to be like their Messi essentially. I don't know.
This is
I don't know if
crazy.
Australian
What a comparison.
basketball has a Messi, but he is. I mean, I know Patty Mills
No Ben
actually
Simmons.
spiritually. Well, no, correct. No Ben Simmons is correct.
You're right about Patty Mills.
Patty Mills, I think, has the actual Olympic accolades.
Isn't Josh
in like moments.
Giddey Australian?
He is Australian. He was. He was supposed to be. Their prodigy.
Yeah. I think there's some other really good Australian players that I'm not thinking of.
Aaron Baines.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. I love Aaron Baines.
He had a fan club online.
I was, definitely participating in that. I loved Aaron Baines. Also, just look it up yourself. The funniest thing I've ever heard an announcer say was Tommy Heinsohn talking about Aaron Baines. I cannot share it on here, but it was the funniest thing I have ever heard. I will show you guys during the break. PJ Dozier was on that team.
I believe Matisse Thybulle might be Australian.
Briefly. Yes, Matisse Thybulle is Australian. PJ Dozier was on that team. Ooh. He since played in Belgrade. He had 9 games with the T-Wolves in 2024, and last year signed a 2-year deal with Anadolu Efes. I am honestly not even sure what country we are dealing with at that point. Kessler Edwards you may remember, as a member of that team as well.
Dallas Mavericks, right?
He played with the Dallas Mavericks, and there is a picture of, yes, he literally was their starting center very briefly, then played for the Grand Rapids G League team, Tel Aviv last season, and has now made his way to a different overseas league that I am not going to try to pronounce after butchering PJ Dozier's current team.
I think you put me on that his brother's famous. I don't know how air quote famous.
He had like a year.
His brother was popping on TikTok for a second.
Yeah, he had about a year run. And I remember asking Kessler about it. It was a really awkward interaction, actually. I just went up to Kessler in the locker room. I'm like, dude, your brother's hella funny. He's like, thanks. Like, okay.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
He hates his brother.
Yeah, exactly. Stole the spotlight.
He's like that guy.
I also watched a really awkward interaction the year after the Beam team with Mike Brown and Kessler Edwards in Vegas. I hope this isn't a problem that I'm sharing this.
I think
but
all parties are past.
Yeah, it's been some time where Mike said what's up to him, right? Mike Brown, and was just like, oh, you found a team for next year? Kessler goes, nah. It's like, oh.
Thought I
wishing the best for you.
I feel like somebody sent me something.
I was like, oh, that was awkward.
Yeah. Sure.
There's no room on our roster anymore.
I mean, I'll keep you in mind.
Kessler played a decent amount of games, I think, that year.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Like, he was kind of their defensive stopper.
Yeah. They kind of used him as like a every position kind of play. He was their utility. Besides center, funny enough, I think they literally put him at every single position.
He was kind of defensively what they asked Keegan to do right now.
Yes, that's right. I did kind of forget that they had just decided, I think by process of elimination, that he was their defensive stopper. I think they looked around and said, we have literally nobody. Kessler, you don't really do anything else here, so if you want to play, go play defense.
Yeah.
Didn't work out.
You would say that he did that. Currently overseas.
Is this Emmanuel Mudiay season?
It is not, from what I saw.
When you mentioned PJ Dozier,
reference.
I was like, oh man, I forgot that we really Markelle Fultz.
There's
a couple random.
Moody's. I didn't remember that at all.
I think that was 2 years ago.
It was not good.
I think Moutier was either the year after the Beam team or even 2 years after.
Really?
He was very short-lived.
Yeah, it was very short. It was maybe a 10-day. He might have been like an Exhibit 10.
It did not last very
not
long.
Good. It was not good.
It did not last very long. No. Next up, we got Rashawn Holmes. This was a big-time fan favorite.
Yeah.
I always think of Doug Christie on the broadcast talking about patent pending on his push shot. He stayed with the Kings through 2024, then had 1 year with the Wizards. Last year, he played in Greece. You know how to say this better than me? Yeah, there you go. There you go. You said it earlier today, so I left that to you. Just
I think it's it might be a silent H.
I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it. But played in Greece last season. I did not see any current team for Rashawn Holmes, so TBD with that one. Chimezie Metu, who hit I would say fairly well-known game winner when it comes to Kings history. The Dallas one.
Okay. In the corner.
Yeah, nice little pass from Duren.
Yeah,
there were fans in the building for that one.
I think he hit one without fans in the building, too.
That would make sense. I was not around for the year that there were no fans.
You know what I'm actually getting it confused with? He got dunked on by Zion,
and
there was no fans in the building.
You got a game winner confused with getting dunked on by Zion.
It was memorable, and it was in the building. Who can really remember these things anymore?
Were you in the building for that?
Yes, I was.
So, do you just hear, players screaming?
Oh, they were screaming. Yeah, it was incredible.
The trash talk has to be ridiculous.
All you hear is shoes squeak and yelling. I mean, Yeah, I don't really remember any specific trash talking moments, but I do remember in general you can hear just the instructional yelling from the bench, incredibly clear.
Coaches just losing,
losing
their voice,
minds.
sounding like Matt George right now.
Yeah, absolutely to a T.
Well, Chimezie Metu was waived by the Kings after that season, signed with AS Monaco. And then Baskonia in Spain through 23-25. He's now on a 2-year deal with a different team, a different overseas team. It looks Croatian.
It looks Croatian.
Yeah, sorry, that's crazy to say. But just based on the spelling here.
I've never seen anything and been like,
that's Croatian. It's gotta be.
Baltic vibes. I don't know.
There's certain spellings. There's a lot of V's and Z's.
This is also making me feel like we need
Serbia.
Oh, there we go. Looks like Croatia.
Sorry.
I'm going to take that back. Apology video coming soon.
I am sorry being uploaded to our YouTube channel after. I feel like we need to kill the stigma that like going overseas is actually bad for basketball players. Like, in what world is it, hey, I didn't pan out in the NBA, I got to go to Monaco? Like, dang,
Messi's
sucks.
playing in Florida.
Yeah, right. Like, what a scrub, right? You know, his career's over. Mm-hmm. He's just slumming it down in Miami in his own personal, villa. It's like, what a great life, Chimezie Metu, fans out in the NBA, go hang out in Spain. Trey Lyles, Alex Len, go hang out in Madrid. What a great life.
So I may or may not have just mixed up his career with Chima Moneke.
Oh,
and
I forgot about Chima Moneke. Shout out
UC
Chima
Davis.
Moneke.
UC Davis. He was the one that went to Monaco, Baskonia, and is currently playing in what country did I just say?
Serbia, I believe.
Chimezie Metu, Pistons after Barcelona, and currently is playing
Spain
overseas as well.
Huh.
And then the last few that we got here.
Shout out those who have not forgotten that Jonas Valanciunas threw Chimezie Metu off of his shoulder. And
That's
broke
true.
His wrist.
That's true. Tyrese had quite the rant
There
about
are people in my life who actively still bring that up, and I'm like, wow, okay, yeah.
KZ Okpala never played basketball again. We actually just found, you pointed out to me today, that he's actually pretty active on social media. Apparently he went back to Stanford, graduated, and seems like trying to be an influencer, or at least doing things
He's
on social
posting
media.
on Instagram. Yeah, his a random reel posted popped up on my feed this morning from KZ Okpala. I guess
Life
he's trying
of
to be
an unemployed NBA player.
Life of an unemployed POV. Life of an NBA a former
NBA player and Stanford graduate,
something like that.
Yeah,
and he's trying to be a fashion designer. So
which. Pull behind the curtain. He was
all power to you,
not
buddy.
a great interview, so I'm a little bit surprised.
He infamously,
it's
it's a inside, I guess you can call it inside joke between you and me. We say it all the time. I do what I do because I do it, right?
I do what I do because that's what I do.
That's what I do. That's what it is.
That was the entire
an
quote
answer that
when
he
I
gave
asked
us.
him like what he's good at.
Like, what are you excited to bring to the team? And he was like, I do what I do.
I do what I do because that's what I do. Like, all right,
I'm gonna use
that.
Yeah,
I
like that.
There you go.
Right there, man.
Yep. And final one, Neemias Queta.
Hey, where's that guy? He's probably playing in Spain somewhere, right?
He signed a standard deal with the Kings after that year and then got waived before the season.
Oh, he's from Portugal. That's right. He's probably playing in Portugal.
And he's playing with the Boston Celtics.
Oh,
he
but he's
actually
probably not
just
really
signed
playing, right?
a 4-year, $56 million extension last year because he was the starting center for them last year.
Not the
He's
main.
looking pretty good. No, main one. And there's a chance he even starts over Mitchell Robinson.
Like the main.
No.
Oh,
Boston,
you mean the main roster?
Boston.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like Lucky the
Wow.
Leprechaun. Yeah. Boston Celtics. Neemias Queta looking pretty good. So did we count real quick how many we got there? We got
I stopped counting, but that was around
I got
9
the
or
count.
10.
It was 10.
10.
You got it right on the
look
dot.
at that.
10 players.
I missed it by Queta.
I just
There we go.
righted.
10 players still in the NBA from that Beam team
I guess that's good.
season with the Kings. Not too bad. Not too bad. Coming up on the other side, Anthony has a little surprise for us. Sounds like we're going to play a little bit of a game with some old Sports Illustrated covers, which is quite a throwback. Stay tuned here. Brendan Nunez, Chris Watkins filling in for Matt and Kayla, Sactown Sports.
Take Sactown Sports with you everywhere you go with the Sactown Sports app. The most in-depth coverage of the Kings and 49ers. A library of written and video content. And all your favorite personalities all in one place. Download the Sactown Sports app today and get in on the action. Your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA3 Weather Center for your Wednesday. Plenty of sunshine to get out and enjoy, but it will be a little bit warmer this afternoon. I've got highs peaking today in the upper 90s. We'll have a little bit of a delta breeze go through this evening to drop us back into the low 60s first thing Thursday morning. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
Oh, the Sacramento heat. Right now, get your AC professionally tuned up for as low as just $59 and enjoy your summer nice and cool. Plumbing, electrical, heating, and air, Bonnie.com. Summer restrictions apply. License 696-355.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
Your dog is limping, but she seems fine. Plus, you've heard they can fake it just to get what they want. So what's the deal now? You're being gaslit.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Oh, now she switched legs. What a diva.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery. One of the most common questions I receive is, what makes us different from other law firms? At Gingery, Hammer & Associates, we handle your case from beginning to the end. Whether your case reaches a settlement, whether it must go into litigation, or whether it has to go all the way to trial, we will be with you along the entire way. And because we are committed to your case, we are as invested as you are in making sure you get the outcome you deserve.
When you get an injury, just call Gingery.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Let me tell you about the Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite. It's bright, it's bubbly, it's back.
The Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich, it's so rich, and you can choose between the original or the spicy filet.
Ooh, boy.
And then you got those pickled jalapenos tucked right under the filet, and then just to top it all off, you've got a little honey drizzle right on top.
Okay, now I'm a pimento fan.
And I'm feeling the dragon fruit.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Everyone loves to be outside, and so do mosquitoes. Protect yourself against mosquitoes and West Nile virus by following these simple tips. At least once a week, look around your yard and drain stagnant water from any containers where mosquitoes can breed. Remember to use an effective mosquito repellent, especially at dawn and dusk when mosquitoes are most active. Close all doors and be sure screens are in good working condition. At the Mosquito and Vector Control District, we're here to help. Visit us at fightthebite.net.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
One final segment here for the midday show before we reach crosstalk with the afternoon guys, even though I've been trying to claim their spot all day long. Brendan Nunez and Chris Watkins here filling in for Matt and Kayla. Like I said, not far from Whitey and Allen joining us here in the next segment, but Anthony behind the glass had an idea that he pitched to us before the show today. And rather than me trying to explain it, maybe I'll just pass it over to you, Anthony, and let us know what sort of game we're playing right now.
Yeah, so there's this Instagram account called Believer in Buckets who posts random, he likes to post the group economics Andre Iguodala jersey from the bubble, just random obscure NBA stuff. And over the last few days, he's been posting Sports Illustrated covers that are pretty crazy, including Sports Illustrated Kids, just a bunch of them.
Sports Illustrated Kids.
So
great.
I thought what a fun segment would be is I give you guys the headline and the year, and we can do it two ways. I made it multiple choice to make it a little bit easier because it is kind of insane. But we'll get your initial guess at first, and then we'll do the multiple choice one. Right. So the first one is from 2012, and the headline is "Against All Odds," and it is a basketball player. And I'm going to give you the multiple choice because it's impossible without it.
I'm going to start without multiple choice, say Paul George.
Okay. That's a good guess.
Against all odds in 2012?
Yes.
It's somebody against the Heat.
I don't have a good guess.
Okay, so here are it's not Paul George. Okay. It's Nate Robinson.
Oh God.
Isaiah Thomas or Jeremy Lin.
Oh my God, it's Isaiah Thomas. I should have said that too.
2012. I don't know if I don't think he was on there. I'll say Jeremy Lin.
It is Jeremy Lin.
I'm not gonna lie. I heard Jeremy Lamb.
Oh, sorry.
Not your fault. So I just was like, well, it's not Jeremy Lamb.
The subtitle is The Sudden and Spectacular Ascent of Jeremy Lin. This is the Linsanity
That makes
cover.
a lot more sense.
Was that 2012? Really?
It was in 2012.
My goodness.
The next one was in 2002, and it's the next big thing. So we're thinking
What
big.
year you say?
2002.
That's what I thought.
I mean,
the
LeBron.
next big thing in 2002. It could have been LeBron, yeah, because he was drafted in 2003.
Or Melo.
Melo's a good shout.
Melo probably just off a national championship.
There are a lot of Melos through these ones. That is a good
LeBron's
shout.
such a good guess. I'll stick with
You said it's a basketball player, right?
Yes, it's a
I'll wait for the
basketball player.
multiple choice.
Okay, it is not LeBron.
Oh,
but that was one of the multiple choice
next
options.
big thing.
Yeah, so it is LeBron James was one of my options here, so you narrowed it down to two. Is it Ben Wallace or Yao Ming?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's gotta be Yao.
Big thing. It's got to be Yao.
It's got to be Yao.
It's Yao Ming.
I'm like,
Okay.
Ben Wallace
It
at
is
that
Yao
point.
Ming.
He's also 6'8".
Yes.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it is a crazy cover as well. He's got the arms stretched out like the famous Michael
nice.
Jordan wings. It's massive. And then the subheading is scouting reports for every team, so they don't really care about him that much, from what I can tell.
Oh yeah, that's
Didn't even
sick.
get-
I also miss those Rockets jerseys, the pinstripes. I know they during the time they probably were also viewed as probably not great. But just nostalgia has them at 10 for 10. 10 out of 10 for me. Like, I love that Rockets logo right in the middle, too.
Also, it says World Series on here. Angels versus Bonds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about right.
Not Giants.
That's about right.
Just Bonds. In 2005, The Odd Couple, You May Not Love Blank, but Blank does, and it is a coach-player duo.
2005.
Yes. Coach-player duo in 2005 in the NBA. Do you want the multiple choice? It's pretty tough.
Yeah.
Okay, is it Avery Johnson and Dirk Nowitzki?
Whoa.
Oh, gosh.
Is it George Karl and Marcus Camby? Or is it Larry Bird and Ron Artest?
Wow.
Yep.
And you said the odd. Can you read the headline
odd
again?
couple. You may not love blank, but blank does.
I'm over
So
here
the
like,
two
can you
names.
use it in a sentence?
Yeah, so it's like
I mean, that last
you may not love Chris, but Brendan does.
Yeah.
Right. No, I think I'm going with the last one.
Yeah, the Larry Ron one makes the most sense. The Avery Johnson Dirk one is calling me though. I'm just gonna stick with Ron Artest and Larry Bird.
I'm saying the same.
It is Larry Bird and Ron Artest.
Really?
Yes.
Saying that, yeah, I've definitely never seen. I can't imagine what those two standing on a cover would look like.
Yeah, he's like sitting down
This is
on a bench.
pre-Malice then. This is pre-Malice.
Yes,
in the
this
Palace.
is probably like a month before that happened, honestly.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Wow.
This one's
Yeah, that's certainly
crazy.
something. The Odd Couple.
2013, The Freshman.
2013.
Subheading From Wilt to Manning to blank.
In 2015?
2013.
13.
Yes, and this is a basketball player.
Andrew Wiggins.
Why are we mentioning Manning?
Joel Embiid.
I gotta get Brendan's before I do the multiple choice.
Both of those two.
Who
are
did you
20
say?
I said Wiggins and Embiid. I think those were both, I want to say, seniors.
Dude, I'll go. I mean, I have no idea. I'll just say Wiggins too, I guess. till
Wiggins
multiple
is
choice.
right.
Wow.
It was Andrew Wiggins.
Wow.
Come on, man.
Maple Jordan?
Maple Jordan.
I believe is what they were
absolutely,
calling him
man.
then. Yes.
Yes, no. That guy was. I keep trying to tell people, man, Andrew Wiggins and the other one is Harrison Barnes. People don't understand the hype that was around those guys coming into their college season and then how much both of them pretty much, I mean, I think HB more so than Wiggins, but both of those two just fanned out.
What Manning are we talking about? It's a Kansas player.
Yeah, I
think it's just.
I think they're just
trying
saying
to say
random
goats.
stuff.
Like,
yeah.
I think it's like Wilt Chamberlain, Peyton Manning, undeniable.
No, I think it's
top of
Danny
their-
Manning. Because in the background,
Danny
it has,
right,
it has
right,
Wilt,
right, yes.
which I did not know Wilt went to Kansas,
He did go to
admittedly.
Kansas, yeah.
And then Danny Manning, and then Andrew Wiggins. It's Kansas affiliated.
Okay, the
Feels
last
like they
one.
maybe could have gone, like, I don't know, somewhere in between Danny Manning.
I don't know who. Paul Pierce?
Yeah, who's
I
going
think Drew Gooden, if I'm not mistaken, was a Kansas guy.
Going Drew Gooden over Paul Pierce.
Mario Chalmers.
Yeah.
Paul
We're
Pierce.
just not getting that, yeah.
Well, yeah. I wasn't super familiar with Paul Pierce's call. Like, if he,
Yeah.
I don't think
the
he
real
was
playoff P.
All right, really fast. The last one. Cover title is "This is going to be fun," and it's a duo.
This is come on, yeah. You can stop now.
You know it?
Yeah. Oh, this is Steve Nash and Dwight Howard.
He knows
There
it.
you
All
go.
right, there we
There
go.
Come
That's
on,
it.
what are we
That's
talking
it.
about,
Lakers
guys?
version, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
and like Dwight's like, or Steve Nash is like,
I think you're going to know
like
one more.
turn
then.
up the volume. It's an amazing cover.
In 2019, the title was born for this. Magic, Michael, and the 15-year-old who's next in line.
2019 Zion.
Yeah, Zion.
It's Monty Bates.
Whoa,
That's
your
my
boy.
guy. That is my guy.
There you go.
Oh my God.
That is all
What
I
was
have.
that? One more time. What was that headline?
Born for this. Magic, Michael, and the 15-year-old who's next in line.
That's the last time they put a 15-year-old on the cover.
God. Yeah,
They're just like, no more high schoolers. Let's
gotta
relax.
At least be a freshman or something. That is absolutely. Shout out to Monty Bates, but come on.
That's crazy. We saw him at Summer League, I think.
I did,
didn't
yeah,
we?
we saw he was sitting. He was sitting. At
Oh,
the
that's
end
right.
of
He
the-
wasn't playing.
He was.
He should
not.
probably be out there on his Kevin Knox.
It's yeah. I also had that thought. I was like, you should probably be somewhere out here.
Well, maybe nobody wanted him.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know, that might be
crazy.
the Canton Charge.
Yeah, you know.
It got some roster spots or something. But shout out
Only
Anthony.
so
That
many
was
John
that was a
Elmore's
fun
out there.
segment going back in time a little
Yeah.
bit for some of those old Sports Illustrated covers. RIP Sports Illustrated.
I
man.
know, man. They just don't.
End of an era. I have a whole stack of these. I used to have the Sports Illustrated subscription, and I got a whole.
I mean, yeah, the
stack of
greatest
these
show on
things.
court one is absolutely iconic.
Phenomenal. We got it over in.
Well,
oh,
that's
no, not
that's
that.
the
That's a
newer
different
one.
version.
That's the Beam Team one.
Yeah. Well, coming up on the other side here, we got Crosstalk with Whitey and maybe Alan Stiles. Always a little bit TBD. Apparently, Alan Stiles is here. Coming up on the other side, Crosstalk. Brendan Nunez, Chris Watkins, filling in for Matt and Kayla, Sactown Sports.
Take Sactown Sports with you everywhere you go with the Sactown Sports app. The most in-depth coverage of the Kings and 49ers. A library of written and video content. And all your favorite personalities all in one place. Download the Sactown Sports app today and get in on the action. Your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
When your round is going bad, it seems like nothing works. So the So-So Golfer offers 6 tips to save the bad round. First, forget about working on swing mechanics. That creates headworms. Second, tee off with what's working. If your driver isn't working, use a club that does. A 7-iron in the fairway is better than a lost ball. Third, play shots you know how to play. If your second shot looks like a big fade around a tree in the fairway and you just never practice that shot, leave it alone. Take your medicine and hit it back in the fairway. Don't overcomplicate the task at hand. If a simple bump and run will get your ball to the flag, don't try a flop shot that might only catch your buddy in the teeth. And don't give up. It's okay to get upset after a bad shot, but Tiger Woods gives himself 10 paces to vent and then it's done. Good advice there. And most of all, have fun. It's a game. Remember, you'll have lots of time on the range to work out all those shot frustrations you find on the course. Smile, tip your hat, and get on to the next shot. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave, and yeah, I've been on the air here just shy of 25 years, and you guys know that when I endorse something, I have a few very important things. Number one, I love it when they're local. Number two, I have to be willing to use them myself. This is where Pest Pros came in, or comes in, I should say, because I've known these guys as Kings fans a long, long time. I also have a mouse problem at my house. I also have a cockroach problem at my house. And I did it the old-fashioned way. Went through Facebook, got a hold of these guys. We became friends. And when I found out what Pest Pros does in the community, I thought, I've got to have you guys on the air. We've got a partner. Locally owned, locally operated. Their kids go to school with your kids. You're going to get pest control somewhere. Get it with Pest Pros. Here's how you get a hold of them. PestProsPS.com or call them at 916-588-9345. That's 916-588-9345 and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $3 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they helped me. They calmed me down. They made me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-375-2322. 800-375-2322. 800-375-2322.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
Brendan Nunez, Chris Watkins filling in for Matt and Kayla here. We've reached the end. We've reached crosstalk over here with Whitey and Alan Stiles.
Great job, you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys
Great
crushed
job.
it. Absolutely crushed it.
You were not listening.
From beginning to end. No, seriously. You
Yeah.
guys did a heck of a job.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm excited.
I did listen, maybe not from beginning to end, but I listened to the beginning, some in the middle, and I'm listening to the end. So, yeah, I can say.
A little sandwich.
You did a great job.
Yeah, great
And are
job.
doing a great job. It's not over yet.
Actively. That's right.
Not there yet.
Yeah.
Not there yet. Anthony made it easy, you know, the one consistent still here.
Yeah, I mean, that guy, MVP of the week for sure. You know, I mean, there are a lot of people that they tune in 10 a.m. every single day and they want to hear a familiar voice. And really, it's just been Anthony this week. So kudos to Anthony for keeping everybody on one accord.
Thanks, Alan. You always got my back.
Always. Always.
Some of them don't even have a voice anymore.
No.
You know, Matt struggling out there allegedly.
No, I imagine he sounds like, did you guys ever see Us?
Yes. Yeah. They're
There was a time.
Oh.
like they only could inhale.
And there was a rabbit.
That is exactly how he sounds. It's pretty bad.
Is there a check-in or?
I mean, I haven't heard his voice since golf on Monday. And since then,
it was fading
been
fast.
cricket. It was definitely fading. I mean, he had a little Doc Rivers, Tom Thibodeau to him, but
when they back,
you know, who wouldn't want to hear
that? Might add to the radio.
That's what I thought. I was like, this is the smooth stylings of one Matt George. So hopefully we can get a little sneak peek or a preview tomorrow, if not a whole taste.
One person who's in here right now is actually doing the show with strep throat. And Matt can't,
whoever they are need to back up. We're a little too close to be hearing that.
I've done it in the past. I thought you meant actively.
Yeah. But you were in.
I can't wait to figure out who that is.
In.
Yes, that was not fun.
Didn't finish.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't.
DNF.
I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, it was a DNF, and it's sometimes we try and plow through, and at the end of the day, we got help like. Myself and Brendan.
I'm driving in and I heard him struggling. I didn't know what was wrong. He hadn't been to the doctor yet. But so I came in and said, I'll go home. I got you. And he's like, I just want to do one more segment. And he did.
I had to get you
Turned
to
out
1
a
o'clock.
trooper.
I had to get you to 1 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah. Just got to get you an hour.
Great stuff. Hey,
after that, and
you
then
know
we
what
can
they-
talk about Allen's teammates, his acts of heroism as a teammate all day.
Oh yeah, well that's just par for the course.
I knew it was
pun
bad when
intended.
Chris hopped in the YouTube chat to say you're notoriously a good teammate.
See, but Chris knows.
I
you
do,
know.
yeah.
Chris
Allen
knows.
prides himself on being a good teammate.
Exactly.
That's not what Biederman told us yesterday.
Chris Biederman, probably his best radio hit
was
of
an
his
incredible-
career.
it was an
I meant to
incredible
text him
call.
actually. I'm going to text him. Best radio hit.
It was
of
really
The
good.
streets
Yeah.
are saying
Mm-hmm.
he's never had a better radio hit than yesterday.
No.
Outstanding.
That was as good as it gets, right there.
As good as it gets.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
After a week of getting like Allen and just everything that comes along with it, to have like the Monday golf round that just was an extension of it, and to see other people, just Biederman and Matt George, be like, is this what he was? I was, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it's always on.
In the
Allen Styles
LV.
show.
In the LV.
This is the most
This
of
is
the
a
Vegas
nice-
crew
yeah,
that
I was
we
gonna
have
say,
all
this
had
is a nice
together.
reunion.
Yeah, this is the Sack Shack.
I would say it was a pretty successful trip overall, fellas.
Guys, and I'm glad you brought this up because we did get some of the numbers.
You brought it up, by the way.
It was and I know Richie and Kayla doing a great job in SC in Santa Clara for the Santa Clara Niners, San Francisco, whatever you want to call it. But we got word most successful summer league the station has had. And I just want to say, from the numbers perspective, everybody that worked their tails off, Chris Watkins was MVP of the summer league. So great job, everyone. Hadn't got a chance to kind of chat with you guys. The group chat been a little dry since we got back. But yeah, numbers are in, and doesn't matter if we do it in a house, doesn't matter if we do it on the street, wherever it was. We had the people talking. So congrats to everybody that was a part of it.
And big shout out to Dylan Cardwell. That was our best piece of content
Man.
while we were out
Well,
there.
yeah, he was number one, but I was right.
A clear number one.
Yeah. But it wasn't really scheduled, so it's a little bit different.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was number one.
Doesn't match up to your 40 is what you're
Exactly.
getting at here.
I think it was the two Dylan videos, and then it was Kang Gang, and then
you.
it was with me, and then the 40.
Okay.
I want to see a video, Allen in the 40 against Dinger on a scooter.
Oh my!
There you go. I don't think anybody wants to see Dinger on a scooter
with
anymore.
obstacles. Yeah.
No.
I think Chris had the best question about that yesterday. He's just like, why is he dressed as Santa, by the way?
Yeah, Christmas in July, man.
Yeah,
Sure.
and that was your answer. And like that was like, Christmas in July.
No, it was a promo.
Yeah, they were
every
celebrating.
Saturday
Yeah.
there's a promo.
Uh-huh.
So, 2 weeks ago it was like they have Harry Potter coming up.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Is
And
this
Star
his-
Wars
He still didn't answer your question.
Yeah, I'm just.
It
Super,
was
I guess I'm
Christmas
just-
in July. I don't know
Was
how
it
else
the
to
20th?
answer
It
it.
might have been July 25th. I don't know.
Maybe.
But it was
Christmas in July.
We're
So
celebrating Christmas in July.
So everything
and here
was-
comes Santa Dinger. Look out!
Christmas theme the whole night.
Whatever happened to the player?
Alec Thomas?
Yeah.
A center fielder?
Like he's all right?
Yeah, did he
stayed
play
in.
that inning? Yeah.
He stayed in, but he was letting Dinger have it. We thought it was a bit, but he kept staring at Dinger and throwing seeds at Dinger and throwing water at Dinger. And
Throwing water?
And control room, they said, hey, let's get something on the screen. And they had to say, sorry, Alec, from Dinger. I think he was joking. But the manager... Yeah, the manager was
Probably
not
joking
happy
at all.
about
I
it.
imagine.
And they said, hey, guys, no more Dinger scooter for the rest of the
That's
homestand.
real home field advantage.
So there was no...
Just the homestand.
Yeah, we'll bring it back.
We'll bring it back on
We'll bring it
Tuesday,
back.
but-
You said Alec Thomas was his
Yeah.
name? Yeah, he's going to become one of the Lopez brothers, just have beef with every mascot. now.
Everyone.
Maybe
So,
Harrison Bader does a rehab there, and you can bring it back for him.
There we go.
No more scooters.
The scooter boy.
Yeah, he rides it out. No more scooters for the Giants organization.
We're not going to
please.
get you on a scooter out there.
No, I'm more of a Razor guy, old school.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to the e-bike thing. I like to pedal. I like to push off
Yeah.
on a real scooter.
Okay.
Not this motorized stuff.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Who knows where?
There's
Where
a lot
are
of
you-
injuries. Clearly, it's not safe.
It does not seem to be safe. Where are you guys going today? What you got planned for the show?
Well, Ellen and I usually get along pretty well, but today we're at odds on something very serious. I mean, really, really.
Jonathan Kuminga.
No, it's whether we should be celebrating today. There's two things that are on the docket today. Which is bigger, National Wings Day or National Lasagna Day.
Wings,
we are
not even close.
I've gotten not one email. I get a lot of emails from a lot of food places come through. Wingstop, Popeyes, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't got any emails for Lasagna Day.
Is that how you determine which food?
Yes, it is.
The marketing materials you get.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Who's paying me to say it's a better day?
That's exactly right. But I will say one time I had, outstanding. It was in Alameda right near the water. One of the best cuts of lasagna I ever had, Whitey. Spinach. It was spinach pasta, green, green. So it popped. I'll find a picture for you.
Spinach pasta?
That's
doesn't
right.
even sound like lasagna.
Cut of lasagna like it's a prime cut of meat.
Right in the middle.
Sliced it off the cow.
You know how to eat lasagna.
Some people, right in the middle. Some people like the crust on the side. This isn't deep dish. No, right in the middle. Yeah. Right in the heart of the lasagna.
Right. That might be
right in the heart of the lasagna, because that's how G's move in silence.
That's right.
I think wings are more deserving of their own day, but I might lean lasagna a little
Thank
bit.
you.
I might lean lasagna.
Yes.
What does that even mean?
Where are you going to go?
Yeah,
like,
leaning,
what are
where
you going to go to Buca de Beppo?
Wait, where's our spot? We need to go back to our spot in Vegas.
Oh, Carmine's.
Carmine's,
Yes.
you know our server. Oh, we have the best. We have the best. And they'll bring out a whole tray, and we all got to share one bite,
And
I
that's
don't
what's
think
coming up today, and also whatever we can, pick up from what you guys left behind.
That's right. Yeah,
feel free.
You guys really covered everything, man.
Yeah.
But obviously, owners are being questioned, and whether it's about the Warriors or other organizations, how much grace should you give an owner if they've been great, but you don't really agree with what they're doing now?
it's all about what you've done for me recently, right?
That's what I say, but Whitey disagrees. That's all coming up.
Well,
and Bleacher Report, the remaining free agents.
There you
where
go.
they're going.
There you go. Where is Jonathan Kuminga going to land?
Peyton Watson, come home,
Figure
Pete.
it out. Well, that's it for myself, Brendan Nunez, and Chris Watkins filling in for Matt and Kayla. Appreciate everyone who tuned in. You got the Drive Guys coming up next, taking you up until 6 p.m. Stay tuned.